What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live from the studio, and it's awesome to be here today. And
Yeah.
I don't remember when I started. As you know, I've covered the UFC since day one. Covered BKFC since day one. I can't tell you who my first guest was back in the day, but this is the second life that I've been given after last week. So let's welcome to the show our first guest as a new person with some stuff done to my heart, Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you guys?
I'm doing great. I won't get into it with you, but yeah, I almost died last Monday. So you are my first guest as a person that's alive now, and that's awesome. But before we talk about your big fight coming up next week, talk about, I was there in Philadelphia. I was born in Philadelphia. Talk about what that experience was like, how bad the crowd is. That's what we're known for in Philadelphia. But I know you relished it. I know you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a great time in Philadelphia. Obviously the crowd was against me, but the crowd was amazing. Right before I went out on stage, I got a chance to kind of sit back there for a second and just look at the crowd. The American flag was real big up there, and they were just chanting and getting wild. And I was just like, man, I'm gonna break a lot of hearts here tonight, but this is gonna be awesome. I relish in that type of stuff. When people doubt you, they count you out, and I look at it like football. Just going into the tunnel, the Philly crowd's always going to be rough. You might get something thrown at you, maybe shot at. Who knows? You just expect that. You deal with it. You have it in there. They're no part of it really. But after, I felt like I had like new Philly fans, and people saw what I'm really about, like what I can really do. I think the real people knew what was what, and that, and I turned some heads over there in Philly. I loved it. It was an amazing time.
The thing about Philadelphia and Philadelphia fans, they love to give it, but if you take it properly, you can still push back a little bit, and I know you did. I was at the weigh-ins. But if you do it right, then they're going to relish you as almost one of their own / one of our own. So that's what I liked most about that entire experience and how you handled it. You handled being the bad guy, and then, like you said, you turned a lot of people into fans now.
Yeah, I love the Philly crowd. It was awesome. The rowdiness and stuff like that, I grew up around. I'm a guy that can really thrive in the chaos, and they just seem chaotic to me, and just seem like my type of crowd. So I loved it. It was an amazing time.
I'll tell you a real quick Philly story. I was stationed in Philadelphia in 1980, probably before you were born, before most people were born. And I'm coaching a little league team while I'm in the Navy. And one of my 11-year-olds called. The Philadelphia 76ers just won the NBA title. And he calls, he goes, "Hey, coach, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm in bed." "Why?" He goes, "We just won the world title. Let's go out and burn cars." I go, "What?" That's what they do. The stuff they do in the streets in Philadelphia is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that's too hot for TV right there. But
I never left my house. So let's talk about next Saturday. Let's talk about you and Mike Perry. Or really, I was just going to say 2 words, Mike Perry, and see how you go with that.
Yeah, you want me to say something about him, or
no? Yeah, I was. Instead of asking the long question about your fight with first Mike Perry, I was going to say I only need to say 2 words, Mike Perry.
Yeah, it's me versus me. I'm not worried about the opponent. I just focus on me getting better, me doing my job, my task, the way that I'm going to show up, my speed, my timing, my precision, my power, what I bring to the table. I'm the new face. I'm the king of the BKFC. Fuck him. I'm all about me, and me, and what's going to be, and that's me.
What is it, if it's anything? Is it that Mike Perry is, the face, if not one of the faces of BKFC, and you want it, and that's how you're coming in? Or is there something that's happened in the past, something you crossed bridges, when you both were in the UFC? What?
No, not really, man. I had a rough time life outside of UFC and where I've been and what I really wanted to do. I guess I just did not really know what I wanted to do after that. Once I kind of got clear on where I really wanted to go, I sat down. I literally wrote down in my journal, it's upstairs, and I go, what is the quickest way to riches and financial freedom? I want big fights. Like, I'm a big name. Like, I want exciting fights. I don't want to fight these fucking nobodies that no one even, like, it doesn't excite me. Like what's going to be exciting for Jeremy Stephens? What's going to be big fights for Jeremy Stephens? What's going to put Jeremy Stephens up there? You know, and it was a lot of grit, getting off my ass and picking myself back up into the win column. And it was an easy route to really pick. Once I got in BKFC, I was like, damn, I felt like a little kid that was bullied, you know, which I was growing up. I grew up inside the UFC. I've had a hell of a fight career, got into boxing. And I feel like, you know, with all that experience, I get to go back and be that little kid, that dude who can protect that little kid with his hands and violence. And, you know, the stand-up game is my game. You know, I don't feel like anybody in the world can beat me when it comes down to bare knuckle. I have a lot of experience in this type of stuff. I grew up in this. And this was my quickest way to millions of dollars in financial freedom. And I literally wrote it out. You know, Eddie Alvarez was on the list, Conor McGregor, Mike Perry. Those guys were the guys that wake me up out of bed, that I actually want to fight, that I can fight, that I will fight, and I'll beat them.
Speaking of you beating up that little kid, what's the chance? You know, 10%, 80% of you getting in that fight with Conor McGregor? We all want to see it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm just in the process of building it now. You know, taking out the opponent October 4th and devastating, you know, awesome style that I always bring. And again, you know, he's the face. You know, everybody's got him picked. Oh, he's the bigger guy. This and that. You know, there's three levels. You know, there's toughness. You know, there's bigger guys and smarter. You know, I feel like I'm all three. You know, I'm tougher, I'm meaner, and I'm smarter than him. I think he's 2 out of 3. I'm 3 for 3. Going in there and putting a fucking statement on Perry's jaw and leaving him on the canvas leaking, face down, ass cheeks clapping. You know, there's undeniably puts me as the baddest, hottest, too hot for TV motherfucker that's out there right now. That's actually doing it. A man of action. You know, this is going to be my 3rd sold out arena this year, and 2 of them I've been on main events. So, I mean, you tell me. My numbers are up. I'm doing great. I'm living the life. I'm a man of action. And October 4th, I'm going to put someone in the fucking grave again. You know, so his after party is going to be in the morgue, and mine's going to be headed to the White House.
So Jeremy, speaking of the morgue, Randy, you know, he had a heart scare last week, a 99% blockage, what do they call it, a widowmaker, Randy?
Widowmaker. Yeah.
So we're grateful that you're the first interview since. Randy, obviously, was hatched in Philadelphia. But talk about the Clappin' Cheeks song. You're going to walk out to your own song. Like usually fighters have, like, they identify with lyrics or like a beat or like a artist to get them hype. But you're going to be your own hype man. So talk about that. Like, talk about the process and how's it going to feel to walk out to your own song.
How you guys just going to hit me with, you guys are kind of just skipping over this a bit. Hold up. Because you told me he was like almost dead in the morgue. This is twice now. I don't want to skip over this guy. This guy's a veteran of our country here, and if it wouldn't be for him, we wouldn't be able to do what we love to do. So that's first of all, that's crazy. I don't want to just skip over that and go into Cheeks Clapping. Randy, you're a savage, bro. God bless you.
Hold on. First, teach him what Cleats Shack is. He doesn't know what Cheeks Clapping is.
Hang on.
Explain to Randy.
Hang on.
Don't
Hold up. Just, you know, health. You know, that's the main thing. You know, it's God, air, water, food, health. That's like one of my values. So, you know, obviously take care of your health. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad to be on your show. And now, as far as Cheeks Clapping, you know, I love like a good murderous beat. You know, I grew up on Tupac, Death Row, Snoop Doggy Dogg. I love murderous beats, 50 Cent. And, you know, I used to beatbox and rap back in the day. And my content guy, he's got a studio, and he's always heard me freestyle a bit, which, you know, not a lot of people have really heard that. And he's like, dude, I think you got some stuff going on here. So we written up some stuff, and, you know, I got in the booth, and he was just directing me, guiding me, and I was just having fun, you know, doing our podcast, Life After the Fighting and the Wins and things like that. We're just in the studio having fun, and, you know, Cheeks Clapping. We decided to make that because I knew it was going to, for one, it's facts. You know, it's something that happened at the fighter retreat with Perry's ex. You know, she used to corner him, things like that. So it was just, it's just got truth in it. It was a way to market this fight, get people to look into this, sell the pay-per-views, and get people actually like this fight just makes sense, but you got to sell pay-per-views. You got to get people tuned in. So this was something I saw way back before it even blew up. Was like, cheeks clapping. This is gonna only not only rile up the opponent. This is gonna interest a lot of people, and it's a great song, and people are really hanging on, clicking onto it, and everywhere I go, cheeks clapping. People are loving it. I got T-shirts made and being made, and we're selling them right now, and it's the truth, man. What do you want me to say? The streets to the ring. We're bringing it. Too hot for TV.
Where can people purchase the shirts?
Go to Little Heathen, go littleheathen.shop or go to Certified, and you can find my links on social media. Cheeks clapping, snapping brawls, breaking jaws, lots of good material out there that I'm getting rid of for merchandise. So check it out.
Very cool. I'll jump back just for a second. When I went through all of this stuff over the past couple of weeks, and then when I went in for the procedure, and my heart was 99.5% blocked of, they call it the Widowmaker for obvious reasons. Somebody told me what the number one killer of American males, and, we're all going to say cancer or heart disease or whatever. It's pride. Pride that we don't want to go to the doctor. Pride that we don't feel something and go have it checked out, or the suicide. It's all pride. And we got to get past that. And I'm glad that I felt something weird. It wasn't a heart attack. It didn't feel like a heart attack. It didn't feel like anything. And then when I called the doctor, they're like, okay, we can see you on the 19th of October. I would have been dead if I would have waited that long.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you don't know me very well. Matt, you do. You tell me 6 weeks for an appointment, that's not going to work. I kept harassing, kept pushing, kept, calling. And what was supposed to be visit number 1 next month, the procedure got done last Monday. So I'm alive because, pride, no pride, I got it done. So I want to just start getting that word out. So,
I'm glad you're here,
Randy. Brother.
It definitely is important. So let's close on 2 things. One, it's bare knuckle fighting. A lot of times people say boxing. How difficult is it to keep it boxing and not just brawling? Or is that what you want to do with Mike Perry next Saturday? You just want to brawl with him?
No, I think I'm naturally a brawler. If you guys ever watch me grow up inside the UFC,
I know.
I used to just swing real wild and tough, and I beat a lot of people that I shouldn't have beat on paper just through meanness and being strong. And as I just continue to adapt and grow, get better, get smarter, I continue to evolve as a fighter, as a human being, rather as well. And I after UFC, PFL, I got into boxing a bit, and then I got into bare knuckle. And if you really watch bare knuckle, you see that all the boxers who use the skill to typically have the most success in bare knuckle. It's the boxers. It's the people setting them up. I can always brawl and bite down on my mouthpiece if I have to, but what if I can use my head movement? What if I can use my defense? What if I can just use my footwork? And I beat this guy. 10 times out of 10, I beat this guy. I call Perry's my water boy. Fucking swings and just stupid. You're not just going to beat me with just meanness. He's the opponent's like, oh, you'll quit, you give up, blah, 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 blah. That's just not in my heart. And I'm not that fucking dumb. I'm completely different than anybody he's ever faced, and even though like people were saying I'm like the littler guy, we'll see when we get in there what happens. We just seen it with Crawford versus Canelo. That's a great blueprint. The littler guy, he moved around the bigger guy in the clinch. He outboxed him, he outsmarted him, he outfootworked him. He did all the right necessary things and made it look easy. And October 4th, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked, besides me and my team, that we put this guy away and that we make an incredible statement and move on.
It's going to be a fantastic night. Before I let you go, how old are your daughters?
Is that relevant?
Well, it is, because I send a gift. I think I told you. No, I'm not coming knocking on the door. I don't want to get.
Hey,
no.
Big dog. Hey, I just, there's a lot of crazy shit. I gotta ask.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I like to send thank you gifts. I don't know if you know that. I think I sent that in the text. And I've picked up a new sponsor. It's called Fantasy Pets. I was going to say I'm going to send them to your daughters, but if your daughters are 22, they may not like it as much as if they're 8. That's why I was asking.
16, 14, and I have a little toddler that's going to be 3 here soon.
All right, so I'm going to send 3 fantasy pets. They're 3D printed like dinosaurs. They're really pretty cool. So
Awesome.
that's why I was asking. I didn't know their age. If they were 2 weeks, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But it's my way.
Before I let you go, real quick. So I always ask our guests where they're from, not where they're born, not what city you were born in, but like where's your heart? Like what vibe is your grit come from? Like when you say Jeremy Stevens, I'm gonna thumbtack it on the wall behind me on the map. So that's going to represent your vibe. Like who is Jeremy Stevens and where is he from?
I'm from the heavens above and the heavens below, man. I'm from the spiritual world.
Wow.
I believe in God, and God made me a warrior. And if you throw a dart in the middle of the U.S., that's where I was born, in Des Moines, Iowa, the bullseye. And my happiness is in San Diego, California, where I'll die.
There you have it. Great stuff.
What
Jeremy,
an answer.
Jeremy, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Have fun next week, and I hope your children enjoy the fantasy pets and the gift I'm going to send you as well for coming on.
Randy, God bless. God bless. Thanks for sharing the story, your strength, and tune in October 4th, man. You're in for one heck of a treat, bro. I appreciate you.
I definitely
stay healthy, my man.
I will. You as well. Have fun next week.
God
that is Jeremy Littleheave Steven getting it done against Mike Perry. And he said that truck word. He still didn't beat Mike Perry. He didn't beat Mike Perry on the truck word. Let's see if he beats Mike Perry next Saturday. All right, let's go pay a bill or two. We're going to have a lot of fines after that interview. So let's go. Thanks some sponsors. We'll be right back as we continue on the YouTube channel as well. This is Knockout Radio. Truck away.
This is Michael Clayton from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Ferg and the whole gang at Ferg Sports Bar and Grill. Ferg Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
This is Toby Hoff, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility over here in Pinellas County. Studio will be put together in 3 weeks. Joe Marquis bringing a team here. We're going to have TVs. We're going to have all sorts of cool stuff put in. I'm looking forward to that. But to be honest, and I really wanted to break what we needed to do. We no longer use regular music, copywritten music, because we get clicks and nicks and all that stuff on YouTube. But I so badly wanted to start the show with Andy Grammer. It's good to be alive. And that's my new theme song. Now, when I went to my primary doctor after the procedure, and I'm talking to him about stuff, and I said, this is how I feel. And I'm going to ask you, Matt McClellan, the same way I asked him. Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket before?
Of course.
What's the first thing you think of when you get a speeding ticket?
Man.
Correct. I'm never going to speed again.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm never going to speed again.
Till
and how long until you speed? And how long until right. Right. So
next light.
The next light. So I'm trying to cut out stress. You're probably the only stressful thing in my life I'm going to keep in my life.
That's great.
Stress.
Well, you know what?
Trying to
ironically, coming out of that last break, it was Michael Clayton, from the Buccaneers. The last time I got a speeding ticket and pulled over was because Mike called me and goes, "Hey, I got an opportunity to get on the TV. If you can get to the studio in 30 minutes." And I was 45 minutes away, and I was trying to make it to Channel 10, and I got pulled over at the state fairgrounds. So my last ticket was because of Mike Clayton. It wasn't because of Mike Clayton. I just,
It was Michael Clayton related.
It was incentivized by Michael Clayton. He gave me an opportunity. I was too far out of reach. I wasn't prepared.
What did that opportunity cost you?
$287.
Exactly.
4 points on my ticket, on my license.
Insurance. Your insurance went up.
Time. I lost the opportunity. So who knows what kind of reach I could have got.
No,
I lost everything with that. Because I was going too fast and I wasn't prepared. When the opportunity came, I wasn't prepared to take advantage of it because I was too far out of reach.
Well, then, let's be honest. And I want to say, yeah, you blew it. But no, you didn't miss, you didn't take advantage of the opportunity because you were not close enough to get there in time.
Right.
So it's really not that. It's not like everything else you do in your life where you blow opportunities. This, you really never had the opportunity because you were not sitting in the parking lot waiting for Michael Clayton to say, "Hey, what's up?"
and on top of it, I didn't have shoes on. So when I got pulled over, the first concern was, the shoes were sitting on the dash of my car, and the cop looked at me like I had some issues. And, and now I don't wear shoes anywhere. And, they still look at me like I have issues.
Well, that's
but they don't understand. They don't
not
understand
true.
The value.
You wear shoes when you're a commissioner. You wear shoes every once in a while.
If I have to. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Coming up momentarily, Veronica Cartwright, actress, has been heavily involved directing, producing in a very, very famous yesteryear show. She's done a lot of stuff. She won an Emmy as a teenager. It's kind of like winning the Super Bowl your rookie year. But she was a continuous character on Leave It to Beaver back in the day. We ran into Jerry Mathers at one of these comic conventions, and it might even have been Fanboy. Veronica will be at Fanboy this weekend up in Orlando, so we're going to talk to her momentarily. And I hate, and I'm going to probably do it when she's on, but I hate talking about other people, family members, whatever. When I'm talking to you, it's about you.
Sure.
It's not about you're famous or not famous. But Veronica's sister was in another TV show I watched growing up called Lost in Space. So you're too young. I know.
Yeah. But isn't the Beaver show, wasn't that like a wholesome family value show? Like where the bedrooms separate, like the man and woman slept in the same room but different beds?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that. I don't even remember. I don't remember them ever even showing their bedroom. But yeah, it was the wholesome. It was really even before the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch and all that kind of stuff. But
do we have anything today do we have anything today that would be close to like wholesome family value? Like is there anything like similar to like Leave It to Beaver in today's streaming world?
The last one I can think of, and it's the last one I can think of. That's all I'm going to say. Is the Cosby Show, and we know where that went.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm sure there is, but there was Little House on the Prairie. There was Dallas.
Yeah.
We were supposed to have a Dallas Linda Gray on, but she's in Paris.
Okay.
What a great let's go back to the weekend. My first event after the procedure, I went to the Bucks game on Sunday, it's my favorite game of the year. It's when all the alumni come, and I got to see some of the older players. Ali Marpet. Well, let me rephrase that. 1/3 of Ali Marpet, was there on Sunday. Ran into so many other people. Had a long talk with Chris Hovan. Bill Golston, Will Golston came up and we talked. He has a cigar bar over in Tampa. He said there is no smoking section there. You have to smoke to come in there.
Come on.
So you're not welcome there. Sorry.
Dang. Well, I'll smoke if I can wear no shoes.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to let you in either way.
What do you mean? I know Willie. I see Willie at the Hard Rock.
Willie? Oh, you're on
close.
A Willie basis, huh?
Yeah, we're close.
Did you see Major League Baseball has approved robot umpires that they will be using next year?
AI is coming.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's black and white. There's no middle ground. There's no interpretation. There's no manipulation.
But you missed it.
The box.
As you're making those references, right and left, right and this, you're not saying right and wrong. That's why I like it. I want the call to be correct. I want the team that's supposed to win, that should win. There's so many times, and yeah, I totally understand, what has happened in the past, but we'll get back to talking about that. Right now, like I was just talking about Fanboy Expo coming up this weekend, on the phone with us right now is Veronica Cartwright. Veronica, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Talk about the Fanboy Expo and what it is for you. We've had a lot of celebrities on, and we talk about how excited we get to meet the celebs. How excited do you get to hear the stories and hear what the fans are telling you about what you've meant to them?
I think conventions are just terrific. I mean, some of the people, they're just fantastic. I mean, they come because they like you and appreciate what you've done, and that's really so flattering. And I don't know, I thoroughly enjoy them, and I like talking to the people. And I'm doing panels. I get to do a panel on Sunday, and those are so fun because then you get the audience asking you questions and that you don't always hear all the time. So
what's one of your favorite questions that's been asked at either the panel or when they come up for, the autograph or photo?
Well, you'd be amazed how many people go, I've heard that you didn't know that the chest burster was coming out. I mean, of course we knew. I mean, how could we not know about the chest burster? Because we read the script. We just didn't know how it was going to be done. And so people are always fascinated about everybody being wrapped in plastic and awful and stuff around. And oh my God, it was gross. And of course I got leaned right into a blood jet, and which I didn't even know was there. And of course I end up, screaming but I don't know. I don't mind telling that story over and over again. And it's weird, but fun.
Let's talk about one of the very many iconic roles and shows you were involved in, one being, a show that I watched growing up in Leave It to Beaver. To talk about what that experience was like, and for people like my co-host Matt and all those other young fools who don't know anything about some of these old great shows, what was it like being on one of the most iconic shows of the time?
Well, do you know, actually, Leave It to Beaver has never left the air. Isn't that is phenomenal to me? And it's on every morning. I have people come and tell me, oh, yes, I get up and I just turn it on in the morning, and we prepare breakfast and the kids to get off to school, and they watch Leave It to Beaver. I didn't realize it was going to be such an iconic show, but what was great in those days, I not only played Violet Rutherford, I played another character, Peggy. I guess they just liked working with me, so they'd bring me back. And then once I gave Beav the kiss, then they decided that I would just be Beaver. And then when you go to high school and I'm older, and there I am as Peggy. I don't know. It was, they just kept bringing me back. I had a great time. And then years later, they did Still the Beaver. And I came back as Violet Rutherford, and I went on a date with Jerry's character, the Beav, and they interspersed old footage of me giving him a kiss. But by this time, I was a real estate woman who was into being a dominatrix. He didn't like that very much.
Wow.
But it was fun. It was really fun. I looked fantastic too. I mean, they had my hair. I looked like Princess Diana. If anybody, you can see it on YouTube. It's hysterical.
All right, Matt, you can ask questions. I'm going to YouTube. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Veronica, I wanted to honor to meet you and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You know, so before you came on, I asked Randy like that Leave It to Beaver was so wholesome. You know, wasn't that the show? Because I didn't remember growing up on it, but wasn't that when the bedrooms had two separate beds? It was like the man and the woman weren't seen sleeping together. Was that the same program?
I think, no, I'm not quite sure that was Leave It to Beaver, because that was I Love Lucy. And then Lucy, because she got pregnant, said, this is totally ridiculous. What am I, we're having two beds. So she changed it so that you could have a bed, one bed. Lucy was incredibly innovative and smart. And I mean, she says, people aren't stupid. What do they think we do?
It's done via the wave. Let me ask you this, and with the Fan Expo coming up, you see a lot of memorabilia. So I'm curious, what kind of memorabilia do you and have you collected? And were you able to keep anything from any of those, whether it's Leave It to Beaver or any of the other shows you've been on?
None of those early shows. I do have my hat that I wore, my top hat in Going South. So I have that. I have a pod. I took a pod, so that's in my case. Actually, I didn't think about it so much. Was given, all of the cast was given. Giger, when we did Alien, gave us a set of illustrations, and they were all numbered. But they were, what am I going to do? Stick them on my bedroom wall, big vaginas and stuff like that. It just wasn't, all of his stuff was very sexually oriented and dark. So I did end up selling that at the Hollywood auction because it was just under my bed, but it was huge and it was very impressive. So, but I got $9,000 for it. So
wow. Were you ever offered anything from any of the shows? And the reason I'm asking, when we had Anson Williams on a couple of weeks ago, he said that there was only 3 black leather jackets that Henry Winkler wore. One is in the Smithsonian, one Henry has, and the third one they offered to Anson, and he turned it down.
Why?
He just said he didn't want it. Yeah. Now it would buy a house, like he said, but you don't think of that back then.
No, you didn't. There were certain things. I just thought that little pods were so cute, because they'd made them these little pods with a flower on the end and then these little whiskers coming out at the end. So I thought that was really cute. So they let me have one of those. I'm not sure. I think I have a flight jacket that was given to us when we did The Right Stuff. And I have that, and I don't know, but it's not, it's from, I think it's either from The Right Stuff. It can't possibly be from Alien because they never gave us anything.
It's crazy. What was it like working with Alfred Hitchcock?
I was 12 years old, and he was absolutely wonderful to me. I think he thought of me more like his daughter. The first time I met him at his bungalow in Universal. And of course, I was born in Bristol, England, and that is where he stored all his wines in a wine cellar there in Bristol. So, he'd tell me names of wines and stuff. And I thought, oh, okay. I wish I'd written those names down. It would have probably been a good thing. And then we just talked. How to cook a steak. It was very odd things. And so when I was doing the show, he was not intimidating at all. I could ask anything. I would ask, about, aren't people going to notice that on the Jungle Gym, when we come out, that some of those birds are fake? Some of them were just pieces of cardboard or, birds put on there, and then the real birds were on. And he says, no, your eye sees movement and you assume everything is alive. which is like incredible. I can, this day, I look there and I can't pick out which are the fake birds. I think I have it and then it moves. So, I mean, but, and like at the end, when we're leaving the house, there was no door. So I said but there's no door. And he says, well, dear, how would I see you if I had a door? Let's show her, Rod. And Rod Taylor reaches down and pantomimes opening the door, and the light comes across. And of course, it, and you assume there's a door there. You don't even question it. It was unbelievable. And he said, you see, that is the magic of movies. He was so nice to me. I would have tea with him when we shot the movie twice. We shot it once in Bodega Bay, and then we shot it again in Universal Studios. And they picked the house up and the tree up, and they brought it all into the studio. And it was just so bizarre. But when we would work on the Universal lot, I would have tea with him in the afternoon, because every day you had tea at 4:30. There was always a break. You had to have your biscuits and your cup of tea. So Peggy Robinson, his assistant, would come over with biscuits and a nice china pot. And we'd sit down in our director's chairs, and she'd pour us a cup of tea.
Crazy. I don't know, Matt, if you have something, but I want to ask this before we run out of time. And I told Matt before you came on, when I have a guest on, I don't like to ask about family members. And, I'm talking to you about you, not about family. Right. But I was also a big fan of Lost in Space. So right. I do need to ask you, was it competitive between you and your sister, or how was that?
Well, no, because I was doing a series. I was doing Daniel Boone at the same time as Angela was doing Lost in Space. And we were on 20th Century Fox lots, but I was on the one on Western Avenue. And Angela, of course, was on the big one that was on Pico. So there was never any competition. It was a 3.5-year difference in age. And so I was getting movies and things like that, and she was on the series for so long. So it really wasn't competitive. But I should tell you, if people want to go to Angela Cartwright Studio.com, you can listen to a podcast. I was in Texas. My sister has moved to Texas, and I went and visited her, and we did a podcast together, which is really fun. It was nice. Different. It's different when you're doing it with a family member, because you're both remembering things that you had forgotten about. So it's really fun. So just go to angelacartwrightstudio.com and you'll be able to hear it. It'll give you the link to where the podcast is.
All right, we'll promote that as well. One more, Matt, before you jump in. Since I watched Daniel Boone as well, I of course I did, and I still have nightmares. How is Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett the same guy, even though it's not, but it's played by the same person?
Well, I don't know. They usually have nightmares over it. I mean, he was, 6'6" and fantastic. He looked great in the leather, and he was a sweetheart. It was a fun show to work on, and I still stay in touch with Darby Hinton. We have done quite a few things together, conventions and stuff like that, and we talk on the phone. I mean, and he goes to the same hardware store that I do. So,
got that.
Wow. So Veronica, I grew up a little bit outside the period, but listening to you tell these stories, I mean, your fans at the conventions, they're the real winners, because I could listen to you talk all day. I mean, it's fantastic. And but my question is, like, the creativity and the Hitchcock and the movement and the perception. Do today's filmmakers have the same art? Has the industry lost that director perspective, or what do you think about today's current?
Well, I do know. I think when we did Alien, Hitchcock was a tremendous influence on Ridley Scott. And you could tell that because you never saw really the alien. You kept seeing bits and pieces. It wasn't till the end that you saw what the alien really looked like, when he steps out and Sigourney's there with, dressing to go into the shuttle. And you don't even notice he's there. And then he just comes out. I mean, or with me. I mean, but these things were all towards the end of the movie, So I think he was, and no, I think there's some terrific directors. I mean, I loved working with Phil Kaufman. He's just amazing, and he's an actor's director. If you have ideas, then he wants to listen and he wants to try them. I've done 3 movies with Philip, and also George Miller was great to work with. He was a lot of fun, and he just allowed you to sort of my cherry pit scene and stuff to improvise and do things. And it was just, I mean, those parts don't come along very often, and I had a ball doing them. And I don't know, there's, I just had yesterday had lunch with a friend, she's ended up being a friend, who is my director when I did The Good Doctor in Canada. And then she cast me in The Rookie. And she's terrific director. So she's Australian. She's just done a Netflix series in Australia. And so that will be coming out June or July, but her name is Anne Renton. And I'm sorry. I mean, there are really good directors out there that really like actors, and that's terrific.
Let's end it on this. We are talking to Veronica Cartwright, who will be at the Fanboy Expo this weekend. You'll be there all 3 days, correct?
Yes, I will.
And then are you doing the panel again?
Yes, on Sunday. I just got my itinerary. On Sunday, I get to do a panel.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe Michael Biehn might be there. Several other people from Alien. They're usually around, and I don't think Tom Skerritt's going to this one. I do one in New York in October, and Tom's doing that. I know that. But
what time is the panel, Matt? Get the car ready so that we can get up there in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
The panel on Sunday is 11:15 to 12:15, an hour.
There you have it. Veronica, ma'am, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the Fanboy.
Come out and see me.
Yeah, definitely.
Come out, all your people who are listening to this.
Veronica, I got one more before you go. One more.
Oh.
So on the map behind me, I like to ask our guests where they're from. Not where they were born, but where their heart is. Like what characteristics about a certain region of the world. So if I was going to thumbtack where Veronica Cartwright is from, what city on the map is home?
Well, I was born in Bristol, England, which is southwest, and is by the water. And my grandparents were fishmongers, and they had a little fish market. And my granddad used to go out there and get the fish in the morning at 4:00 in the morning, and Gran would have filleted all the fish and hung up 25 rabbits, and by 6:30 in the morning. So there was that. And then my mom was from the north, and that was up just 12 miles from Liverpool. So she was born in Lancashire, and they owned a sweet shop. My granddad used to give me sweets on the way. Don't tell your mom. He'd give me the several little sweeties before I would go up to bed. So, but that's where I was born. I was born in Bristol in the Southwest.
There you have it. Put it up there, Matt. And Veronica, again, thank you very much for your time. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend in Orlando.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, guys.
Yeah, so long. That was absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Talking to her. But I got to YouTube all those things she said. It's talked a lot about black leather and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, dominatrix. So much for the beaver being wholesome.
Exactly.
I was like, wrong show. I was like, I missed out on a golden era of TV apparently.
All right, we missed out on a break, so let's go hit that. We'll try to catch up and close out hour number 1. Where do you hear what's coming up in hour number 2? And I'll run it by you when we return.
Tom Shopsosworth, ESPN, talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever queen of violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Ferea throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey, Tom, this is Terrell Owens, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back. Hour number one coming to a close. Really pretty cool first hour. Jeremy Little Heathen Steven fights next Saturday against Mike Perry, King of Violence. I wonder if Chuck Liddell will have a say about the King of Violence, but that's another story. We won't touch base on that. And then, of course, just now, Veronica Cartwright, who will be at the Fanboy Convention Expo in Orlando, texting Jeremy Stevens back and forth during the break. And it's a shame I'm not going to be able to watch it because I'll be in Vegas. Next week, UFC events on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So I can see that you haven't slowed down any in your second rebirth.
So I'm with my primary physician, and, we're talking about my stress, and, he's telling me I need to do this and I need to do that. And I said, I'm going to cut it back. I'm going to cut it. Yet I still don't have a hotel Saturday night. I'll be at the airport at 2 in the morning. Again, my flight's at 5. Why am I going to get a hotel? I'll get out.
But has anything changed since? I mean, have you made any changes? Have you deleted anyone off of your Facebook? Have you walked away from relationships that are stressful or toxic? Have you stopped chasing things that used to be important to you? Like, I must be here in person to show this support or to be on scene. Is there anything you just said, you know what, that's not important any longer?
Some yes, some no. I said that. I said I wasn't going to fight. I fight this one guy for my seat over at $1 when I cover the Bucks. Everybody has sat in the same seat for years. But if I'm not in the seat, this guy always jumps in that seat. So I said, I'm not going to run over there anymore. If I sit in the back, I sit in the back. If I sit in the front, I sit in the front. I made a comment to somebody, there, and they're like, you should be in the front row. You've covered the team longer than, anybody. And I'm like, I'm good where I am, row 2, whatever. So I've let that go. I have let some other things go. But what was funny is, and I talked to the cardiologist and my primary, I've always told this story. So I was in a bench clearing brawl, many of them, in softball. I remember this game vividly. I singled to left center. I ran halfway. I ran when I hit the ball. When it hit the outfield, I slowed to a slight jog, and then I walked the last 5 or 6 or 10 steps. Shortstop lost his mind, bench clearing brawl, blah, blah. And it's over, right? 8 weeks later, I come up to bat, and the shortstop yells, "Oh, there's that a-hole, blah, blah." I'm like, have we played before? Because I don't remember any of this crap. But like I said to them, maybe I did. Maybe I have kept all that stuff inside. I don't think I remember it. I handle some of the things I do in my other job, I work for my brother. I do some stuff. I've always enjoyed confrontation because if you give it, not only will I take it, I'll give it back. And yeah, I'm cutting a lot of that stuff out. Somebody texted me and asked me for a reference for somebody that used to be involved in the show. And I've still struggled with what I want to do or what I want to say. And I kind of just ignored it, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't care. I truly don't care. The only thing I do care is some of my family members are very mad at you.
At me?
At you.
What did I do?
A comment that you made, and you said something to the effect of, "What? I was 1% away from gaining knockout radio."
Oh yeah. Look, we got to crack open that Rolodex because all of your connections in the industry, all these celebrities and network execs, that Rolodex dies when you do. So quit safeguarding it. The people who are at the top probably have already moved on. They're not even the people in position of power any longer in certain areas. So let's go, Randy. Let's change the world, man. Like, help me make this initiative like global and real. And look, I've been your head trainer for years. Like, let me help the world, man. I want to be everyone's head trainer.
We'll trademark something else with your name in it.
All right, I got one. I just wrote it down. I won't share it here.
Okay,
but I got it. Speaking of that, I need your email address, or actually, I need you to email me because I have a Macho Man Randy Savage challenge. And as you know, Larry Poffo, the Cincinnati Red,
who
ambidextrous.
Who?
Poffo.
No, you called him Lanny.
Randy
Randy
Poffo.
Yeah, Lanny was his brother.
Larry, right?
Lanny, not Larry. Okay. Lanny.
But he was ambidextrous. He could use his left or right equally. Those are great neuro exercises for people to have balance, right? Did you know there's a new biopic detailing Randy Savage's life? So breaking news, Artist for Artist, the production company of Kenan Thompson and Johnny Ryan Jr. is developing a biopic on iconic wrestler Macho Man Randy Savage. So I said, hey, would you like a different perspective? I have footage of Randy Savage doing a Survivor audition video for the legendary Randy Harris. And we can detail a different side of Randy's life. And they said, we want to see it. Please email it. We would love to see and maybe include it into this new documentary. So
I got some good. Cool. I got some good stuff with Randy. I know that we're almost at the top of the hour, so we can talk about some stuff Randy did and Randy said. And Randy reminds me a lot of a guest that's coming up. I think in the beginning of the third hour, I believe, in Christine Ferea. Scared to talk to her, scared to talk to Randy just because her demeanor. And Christine is an awesome person. And I'll tell a story when we come back. We're at the top of the hour. Hour number 1 is done. Hour number 2 right around the corner. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff. We'll be right back.
This is Hall of Famer Deacon Jones, and we're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Steve Kathan. There's an investigation in Dallas after a shooting attack at an ICE field office left 2 detainees dead and another wounded.
This will be a whole of government response. There will be no resource not utilized to bring all those individuals who are responsible to bring them to justice and to hold them accountable.
The FBI's Joseph Rothrock says the shooter died of a self-inflicted wound on the roof of a nearby building. CBS's Scott McFarland says evidence uncovered near the shooter indicates there were anti-ICE writings on ammunition.
Those signatures on those shell casings or those bullets alleged by the FBI director, that is part of a pattern now, isn't it? We saw in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, shell casings with messages in them. In the assassination of the United Healthcare leader in Manhattan, signatures allegedly on the shell casings or the bullets. That does give concerns about a rising number of copycats who try to message killings.
A stark warning at the UN General Assembly today from Ukraine's President Zelensky, who suggested even NATO membership for his country, which President Trump has opposed, might not be enough to ensure protection from Russia.
Stopping Russia now is cheaper than wondering who will be the first to create a simple drone carrying a nuclear warhead. So we must use everything we have together to force the aggressor to stop.
In London, Kentucky, an explosion at a dairy plant today injured 4 people. The cause is under investigation. On the Health Watch, doctors are hailing a gene therapy as the first successful treatment for Huntington's disease, an inherited condition where nerve cells in the brain break down over time.
I am absolutely thrilled.
That's Professor Sarah Tabrizi talking about a gene therapy that fights Huntington's disease, which runs in families and affects mental health, the ability to think, and movement. The gene therapy slows its progression and gives patients
more years of living a good quality of life.
Experts say the treatment is likely to be very expensive, but it gives patients hope. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
Microdosing is the latest trend for some people using Ozempic and other weight loss drugs, smaller doses to save money or cut down on side effects. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder.
While some doctors, some people have some experience with it, we don't have good clinical trial data to advise you on how best to do this. Small, tiny steps in increasing your dose may help in the short term, but that is not tested in the long term.
Right now on Wall Street, the Dow is down 135. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
This is Lomas Brown, and you're talking sports with Randy, the Monster Jam Man.
All right, we are back. Hour number 2 kicking off. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility here in Pinellas County. Matt's in his dungeon or his garage or his living room or his new penthouse or wherever the hell he is. I was going to tell the whole story, but I'm going to wait. Something very cool is going to happen at the bottom of the hour. I've already posted it on the Book of Face, which we have since been kicked off of, by the way. The stream has been kicked off Facebook after Jeremy was on. 16 too many trucks. Are you still there?
Wow.
No, you
yeah,
just,
I'm here. Wow, that's crazy. Like
so
too many F-bombs?
Yeah, well, I'm learning how to do all this stuff. You know, where you and I are producing and directing and doing all this stuff. But I did put on Facebook something. So coming up momentarily is a very cool story with Victory Wednesday. That's what we're calling it, right? Victory Wednesday?
Yeah.
Victory Wednesday.
Winner's Wednesday.
Victory Wednesday.
Winner's Wednesday.
Well, you don't want to really. So we have losers on the other days. Just
no for the dub. You know, for like the Jameis Winston dub. You know.
So coming up momentarily is Jake Babian, known as the Barbarian, and I'll tell the story as he's in the room or really on the stream. He's coming up, and then a very cool returning guest. Melvin Guillard will be on at the bottom of the hour, and he is calling this his exit interview. And that's how he posted it. He posted it, and there's something very, very cool, and I'll say it when he's on. But if you're on my Facebook, you already know, and if you're listening to on the stream on YouTube, thank you very much. But it's really pretty cool. And every time I'm tired of you and I'm tired of being around you and I want to quit. I want to quit.
Yeah.
And I want to
Yeah.
quit radio. Two things keep me from quitting.
Okay.
One, you will never get access to Knockout Radio. That's one. And if I quit, you're going to try to infiltrate like other people have done. And two, it's it's meeting people. It's I can't think of the word right now. It's affected my relationships. It's the relationships. And I always say, every time I'm about had it, it's those handful of relationships that keep me, that one relationship supersedes the 47 bad things that have happened. It's not even a knife in the back. Normally I get the knife in the front, but Melvin is one of those. And we're going to talk about it to him, not just about him. We're going to talk to him about his career, about what he's meant to me. And obviously, and if I can get it quick enough, I think I can, I'll read what he posted, what I've meant to him. So that's very cool. And that's coming up momentarily. So Jake, Babian after the first break, and then Melvin at the bottom of the hour. What?
Well, it's important to highlight that, though. I mean, look, we just lost a running back to suicide last night, a 45-year-old, right? Cincinnati Bengals, great, Rudy Johnson. And it just highlights the point that, even no matter how big a star you are, how big a sports athlete you are, you don't really know what happens after the career, right? And the fact that Melvin could start this trend of like an exit interview, and then he stays a part of this network, and he's always going to have a support system in place of people that care, places to come, because there's no reason for Rudy to not be here anymore. Like with the resources and the success and the fame at the highest levels.
Do you know what? Somebody told me this. Matter of fact, it was Dave Manley. So I had a long talk with Dave Manley after I got home from the hospital. And, I talked to a few people, I mean, you being one, but I had a serious conversation with Dave Manley. And he said, do you know what the number one killer of American males is?
It's stress, right? Like chronic stress.
It's pride. It's pride.
That's a trick question. That's a trick question.
Well, no, but
Jeremy Evans.
No,
I knew the answer. I was like, oh, he's not going to give it that simple. It's got to be. There's going to be like a diabolical.
No, that's what, and it is, because how many people, don't reach out, don't ask for help, don't go to the doctor. If I wouldn't have gone to the doctor when I did, and let's be honest, because I said it to my primary doctor, if he wouldn't have allowed me just to barrel in and walk through he had to open the door, but how many doctors would say, yeah, sure. What's on your mind? I mean, he didn't know why I was there. Right. I just said, hey, do you have 30 seconds? He had patients there. He had patients in the lobby, and he opened the door and walked me into the room. And I don't know if I've already said this to you off the air, on the air. They put me on the EKG and there was nothing there. But where I believe that saved my life is it moved me 6 weeks closer to reaching out to finding a cardiologist.
Sure.
If he would have said, hey, make an appointment, they just changed my annual visit in November. I've put in for my colonoscopy next February. That's been changed. The doctor's busy that day. How do you know you're going to be busy February, whatever? But he opened his door. He let me walk in, and it's because I needed to ask for help. Because
we'll see, but kudos to you for listening to your own internal dialogue.
Absolutely.
Right? And in the commission, fighters, we can see lacerations, we can see cuts. We know if your pupils are dilated. We know if you're slurring your words. There's physical indications, but inevitably, every fight that I work, there's someone that comes up to me in the back of the arena, and they say, you know what? Can I see the medical doctor? Just something inside doesn't feel right. Something's wrong. I know my body. I know myself. It's just a gut instinct, and it's not visible.
Right.
But they know. And so kudos to you for like following through on that instinct and not just shaking it off like, it'll be fine, it'll pass.
Well, and I don't want to make it out to be bigger. I did blow it off the first time. I was cutting the yard, and it was this feeling, and somebody said, was it like an elephant sitting on you, which is what a supposed heart attack feels like? No, it wasn't. Right. I had nothing in my left arm, no pain, no nothing. It was like heartburn, even though I don't know what heartburn is, even though I think I do. I don't think I've ever had it. It was a feeling when you drink a carbonated soda. That's kind of what I felt, which I drink carbonated drinks. So
sure.
Literally, I stopped. I would have never stopped. I would have powered through. I stopped for 30 seconds, 20 seconds. When I got done cutting the yard, I went in and had a Diet Coke. And then it was gone. So I didn't go right away. That's the first time I felt it. I'd been playing pickleball 3 hours in the morning, at Mitch's place. And it's the first time I've ever felt that. It was weird, but it went away. Then it happened. Then it happened 2 weeks later. Then it happened 2 weeks later. And that's when I got the ball rolling. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but that highlights great point is, it's kind of like the tornadoes when you go on CNN. It's like, what did the tornado sound like? I was like, that sounded like a freight train. It sounded like a train horn, right?
Right.
Shout out to Ric Flair, who's now part of the Train Horn Company, same as Brad Tavares, who's a sponsored athlete by the Train Horn Company out of Tampa. But yeah, I think I assume that when I do have a heart attack, if I ever do, I expect it to be like an elephant sitting on my chest, my left arm going numb. The classic stories you hear over and over.
Yeah.
But this was not that, and so
it was a little, just because I know we have to hit this break, and we'll talk about it over the next hour and a half. It was like a little weird feeling in my armpit, but I've had something in my armpit before that was taken out, and this is true. They sent it off to NASA because they didn't know what it was. It was some weird something in my body. And so that was my first, maybe that came back. Maybe the Martian somehow went back in through my nostril and he landed in my armpit.
Maybe the alien, according to Veronica.
Yeah.
Right? You don't really know until the final scene what was the alien inside your body.
So yeah, so if you feel something just that's different, don't be embarrassed.
Let me ask a real question.
Let me finish this one real quick, and then I'll go to your question. I've always said, well, this is nothing. I'm not going to spend the 10, 25, $100, whatever, to go to the doctor. Go. What, Matt? Quick.
Well, so lifeguard, Martin Gramatica, we both did the scan. I have calcium, that was discovered in the scan. Was the Widowmaker undetectable, or is it what is it that you had? It was a blockage. Like how does that come up on a screen, MRI? How did they find it?
I don't know all the medical stuff. I'm sure that they would have at Martin's new company or the old company. I did it years ago, but they said it really wasn't a calcium buildup. What is crazy though, is I believe allegedly one of the doctors said it has to be a misread because they couldn't believe it, over 99% blocked, that I was still alive. And so I believe one of the doctors kind of blew it off and didn't even want to do the procedure to see if it was blocked enough to give me the stents. So fortunate, the chiropractor, I keep on calling him a chiropractor, the cardiologist who was out of town, convinced them, to go ahead. All right, let's stay on time so that we can get to our Victory Wednesday on time as well. Let's hit a break. Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas County. This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Wade Boggs, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's. And after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's. Right across from the Trop.
So the box is right.
Gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Dot Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605, and their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Hello, everybody. It's Levante David, linebacker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to the Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. I'm in Pinellas County. Matt's in his dungeon. Victory Wednesday, and this is kind of cool how this whole played out. First and foremost, let's welcome this week's Victory Wednesday participant. He is your LXF welterweight champ, Jake Babian. Jake, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing today?
First, congratulations.
Of course, thank you.
So I'll tell the story, Matt. You don't even know this. So I get a call from my good friend John McLaughlin, who was in town for the big alumni Tampa Bay Buccaneer. I used to host his radio show. And we're sitting there at a restaurant in Tampa. Never been there, but it's one of Johnny Mac's favorite restaurants. He tells me who's coming, and I'm sitting next to, and he was a chiropractor. He was my chiropractor for a while, thanks to Johnny Mac. So I'm sitting next to Shake, and we start talking, and Shake's like, well, what are you doing? What are you still doing? You know, I bring up the radio, and you'll like this, Matt. He goes, so have you ever heard of Lights Out Promotion? Now, my left side of the brain thinks of Chris Lytle, Chris Lights Out Lytle. The right side of my brain thinks of our good friend Sean Merriman, you know, who's on the show, was just on a couple of weeks ago. So I mentioned Sean Merriman. Shake's eyes light up like, you know, Lights Out Promotion? I go, sure. So he tells me his family is fighting. And I go, what do you mean? So we start talking. And how are you and Shake related? Is he your uncle?
Yeah, he's my uncle, and I fly out there all the time. He takes care of me. He's kept me going over these years, so a lot of love for him.
So we'll get back to the story, but that means next time and every time you come to Tampa, we need you in studio. We need to take you out to lunch. You're now part of the Knockout Radio team.
Yes.
So Shake tells me about you, and he says, oh, you're this great fighter. And I don't BS, full disclosure. I roll my eyes. You know how many times people have said, oh, my cousin fights in the UFC or my cousin, you know, but I didn't watch the fight, but I read play-by-play. And dude, you are a badass. That's all I could say. You are going on to some bigger and better things. Not that you're not in bigger and better things now with Sean, but tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Well, I was born and first of all, I just want to say thank you again for Richard Shaker connecting us and, you know, you having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Show that belt again. Show that belt again.
Oh, yeah, right there.
There you go.
Sean's got a good belt for the promotion for sure. But I was born and raised in Hawaii. I moved out here a few years ago, take care of my grandfather and my grandmother. And over the years, I met Antonio McKee, who's now my coach, and I train under him in the body shop. And I've just kind of been pursuing this career out here. Hawaii didn't have a lot of opportunity for this stuff, and I'm just really grateful that, you know, I'm able to kind of start living my dream and be on the regional scene, meeting a lot of good people out here in Long Beach, California.
Talk about Lights Out. Talk about Sean. He's been on the show numerous times, and we've talked about it. And, you know, it's real difficult to own a smaller promotion where everyone knows the ultimate goal is to leave. and to go to bigger, better things, mainly being the NFL of mixed martial arts, the UFC. Sean's a little different. It's like he wants you to, spread the wings. He wants you to do good in his organization, but he knows, and I know he has a great relationship with Dana, he knows that's where everybody wants to ultimately end up.
Yeah, Sean, exactly what you said is he's created this kind of opportunity for fighters like me, and likewise, we get the opportunity to kind of build ourselves up and then go to like bigger things. And he's been very supportive, and just having that locally here has been really big for a lot of these upcoming fighters.
All right, so I'm curious, Matt. I'm sure you got something. Let me just throw this last one out. You have Armenian descent, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and I believe I read. Well, I know I read that you want to carry the Armenian flag and all that kind of stuff. Hawaiians always carry the Hawaiian flag, not the United States flag. So, will it be difficult to decide whether you're going to carry the Armenian or the Hawaiian, or are you going to do the dual?
Yeah, so right now I've been kind of clinging to, well, originally from Hawaii, that's kind of been my fan base coming out here. So I've been trying to be really true to those roots. With the flag situation, I was kind of thinking about just like putting them together, customizing one. But for now, it's just about going out there and getting the job done.
So Jake, along those lines, if you only had one place to call your heart, like what culture, what country, what flag, what vibe, like because I got a map behind me of the world. So I'm a thumbtack where Jake the Barbarian is from, where you are.
Yeah, I mean, like originally born and raised Hawaii, so.
What city, what island?
Waikoloa, Hawaii, Big Island, yeah.
Big Island, near Hilo? Because
right by Hilo. I actually am flying out at 3:00 to go back home, so looking forward to seeing a lot of the friends and the family, enjoying the beaches out there, and of course, got to get some fresh fish.
How different is Hawaii than you said? You've been to Tampa Bay, because of, you call him Richard or Uncle Rick or Uncle Richard. We've always called him Shake. So when you come see Shake, how different is Hawaii and the vibe and the beach? Clearwater Beach has been voted the #1 beach in the world before. So is it different? Is it close? Do I need to go out there just to visit it, or what?
In terms of what you just said, I believe that they both have like some beautiful opportunities. Like when I came, it was more like the communities that made the place feel special. But in terms of the beaches, I haven't spent too much time like in the Tampa or like the other areas beaches. Sorry about that.
Nice setup. Yeah, it's on production.
That's Hulk Hogan. That's Hulk Hogan, who lived out on Clearwater Beach. He's like trying to tell you, get to the beach in Clearwater.
All right, I'm gonna have to make a stop there.
There you go.
City of brotherly love. It's the real brotherly love city now that Hogan passed. No longer Philadelphia, my brother. Come to Clearwater. We got you. Yeah.
Let's jump to Saturday night. Talk us through the fight, because as I was watching, reading, the reports, early you, then sort of switched, and then you just went Barbarian and ended the fight. And Matt, I don't know if you know this, Jake has the quickest knockout in lights out promotion history. It's like 6 or 8 seconds, right?
6 seconds, yeah.
It would take me longer to get to the center of the cage, and you're already ending the fight. But talk us through what happened on Saturday.
So I took this fight short notice for the welterweight title. Recently just coming off a little injury. So, I was sidelined for a few weeks, or a month or so. But just getting the opportunity in the call was like very motivating and exciting. So what we did to break down the fight camp for this, we brought in some wrestlers. This guy's a heavy striker, right? He's got 5 knockouts, 3 submissions. So we knew he was going to put up a good fight. Some of the stuff I noticed is, his heavy grappling pressure. A lot of opponents can't get up when he gets on top of them. So one thing we did was we created this elbow system from the bottom, help kind of keep me safe, not to absorb too much damage. Well, moving forward, if I had been able to get on my feet, that would have been good, wall walk up. But it caught me off guard to end up in that position that early in the fight, blood in my eye and stuff. But I knew after, if I could get him into the second round, I could change the course of the fight. And right off the bat, second round, I landed some really good strikes, slammed him on the ground. We went back and forth. I tried to shoot a submission, got put on my back, and then got back on top, and I was able to secure the win with those elbows and just the volume of striking. But it was a hard fought fight, and short notice. It's hard to prepare a gas tank for that. Especially coming off an injury. So I had to be meticulous about my expansion, and I was happy to get out of there exhausted with a well fought fight. And I got a lot of respect for him and his team and his coaches. Man, they've always been very respectful.
How do you go to the next level? Is it the team reaches out to obviously Dana and, do you want to get on the Dana White Contender Series? Are you waiting for another short fight, short notice fight, hey, to jump in? How's that procedure going to work for you?
Honestly, and whatever, kind of happens. It's going to have to just see where I'm at in the moment that it happens. But Dana White Contender Series, I think it's a great platform and stuff. I'm more interested in getting in there on a short notice fight, just getting, the contract off a real win. I don't really want to, go through that Dana White Contender Series route, but I'm open to anything and just kind of, focused on the next fight ahead. And I think we're looking at December 6th on Lights Out for the next one to defend the championship.
What people don't understand, and you just said that's what you're kind of looking for, is that short notice fight. For those people that are, still sleeping or not really, listening to what you're saying, that means you have to be ready all the time. That means you have to be close enough on weight all the time. That takes a lot out of a person, right?
All the time. Yeah. I mean, well, that's I like to live by that. It's I'm just always ready, I like to. But recovering and keeping your body happy and healthy, is a really big part of it too. Staying on weight,
Do you do anything? Do you have another job? Early MMA, people had to have other jobs. They couldn't, sustain, living just training. I mean, do you have other things that you're doing, or is fighting what you're doing nonstop?
Yeah, so I do private coaching, and that's one of the biggest things I do right now that's been very good to me. I also do have a bartending job on the weekends, but they've been super flexible, so I can kind of in and out when I want. But fighting it's been very good to me in terms of the opportunities it's given me with sponsorships and support, and things are just kind of falling into place because I understand what you're saying. When I was coming up as a young fighter, you're paying to fight. It's one of the most expensive sports, trying to eat organic and healthy all month, and then cut the weight, and then do all these things and recovery and doctors and injuries, so it's hard for, there's a lot of good talent out there that doesn't have the support and the opportunities.
Matt, before you ask your question, I just want to say that's unfair, just so you know, Jake. By mentioning In and Out, you're in California. That means different than us on the East Coast. We won an In and Out, but we don't have In and Out here. So that killed me when you just said that, In and Out.
Oh, man, that's probably one of my favorite. That's probably one of my favorite burgers to get. Honestly, to be quite honest, the double.
Yeah, animal style. John McLaughlin taught me the animal style. Right, exactly.
You gotta come out here. You gotta come out here. I got you guys.
I'll do it. Go ahead, Matt.
We've got some fantastic stuff out here, man. But mostly looking forward to, like I said, the fish in Hawaii, the ahi poke.
So Jake, so same thing for us. You come to Tampa. I got some tricks up my sleeve to help you with the recovery, to help you with performance. I've got some different training concepts, and because of your relationship with Randy, you got full access to me. So when you get down here, we'll send you back home with some things to make your fight game even better.
I appreciate that a lot. I'm actually going to be back on the phone with Rich later here. We were talking about getting some work done here soon, so I'd love to be in touch with you guys.
Let's definitely do it. Jake, thank you for your time. I know you have your address. We're going to send you a care package from 8 Man Strong. Sweet. Bring the belt when you come. Yeah. I'm going to reach out to Sean as well. And thank you for joining us on Wednesday.
I appreciate it. You guys have a blessed rest of your day.
You as well. Victorious there at Lights Out Promotion. All right, let's go hit a break. When we come back, this will be a very cool and emotional segment coming up with Melvin Guillard.
Hi, this is Vinny LeCavalier, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever queen of violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Ferea throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
What's up? This is Sean Lights Out Merriman, former Charger, now CEO, co-founder of Lights Out Extreme Fighting, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Matt from his studio at his house. Like I said, this very well can go really bad. This is going to be a very emotional, I'm sure, interview chat. On the phone with us right now, a good friend of mine. He once was the young assassin. I think it's a little bit older assassin now. Let's welcome to the program, Melvin Guillard. Melvin, how are you?
I'm good, man. How you guys doing, man? Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it. Let's get right into it. And I started to tell this story, and I tell Matt all the time, I'm getting burned out. I'm getting, it's about time. I think I'm going to this. I think I'm going to that. You get shafted, and we all know about that. And every once in a while, there's a connection, and I know it's my job and your job and Matt's job. And every once in a while, you get a connection with somebody. And you happen to be one of those people that have kept me going. And I believe I've kind of helped you going as well. So I'm going to let you tell what happened Saturday, your retirement fight, and then I want to read something that I saw on Facebook posted by you, which I'm going to frame. But let's talk about Saturday. You have assured me that is your last fight, your last professional fight. You may get in a fight in the street, but it's not going to be a professional fight.
Yeah, that's not happening either, man. I grew up in this sport. I became a man in this sport. It's done everything to mold me into the person I am. On top of that, coming from a great family, parents, grandparents, amazing family. I've had my struggles, in my career, but I think the point of where I thought I was done, it wasn't because everybody was telling me I should. It was more because when I walk into a gym and I'm watching the clock and I'm ready to go, it's no longer fun anymore. And that's kind of what has been happening. So it was just time for something else. I mean, as far as Saturday night goes, I made a pact, I made a promise to myself. And I made this pact in the very beginning of my career, along with my buddy and best friend and brother, Brandon Brewer. like we said, we would make sure we would go out the same way we came in. And when I came in, I was just young and raw, and just everything was uncut, nothing was scripted. Technique was out the window. I didn't even have any of that yet. You know, I was just raw talent, you know. And I owed a lot to him, even though he wasn't here to share it with me. He passed a few years back. But I don't know, no matter what went down Saturday, that was going to happen to that young man, because no matter who I faced Saturday night, I knew it was my last fight, and I knew I wanted to give everybody something to be wild about, because everybody had been doubting me. Everybody had been, you know, writing me off years ago. You know, I mean, according to one thing I read, it said that I broke a 11-year losing streak. I don't recall ever losing 11 years in a row, but whatever. You know, I've had so many fights. I've had over 200 fights, to where I get them all mixed up anyway. So it could have been an 11-year losing streak. I'm not sure, but I don't think it was an 11-year losing streak.
I remember back in the day, and we were talking earlier, Matt and I, you know, just about demeanor of people. And I remember back in the day, people, they were scared of you. They didn't want to talk to you. And there's a fine line between confidence and cockiness. And I think a lot of people thought you were cocky. I thought you were just.
Well, you can't have neither one of them without the other, right? Just like when you ask somebody, are they a lover or a fighter? People are always quick to say lover, but you don't realize in life you're fighting every day for something, no matter what it is. Fighting doesn't always mean something physical. And I pride myself on that, and I teach that in seminars. I also teach that to kids when I go speak to them. Well, you can't be confident in yourself if you're not a little bit cocky about it. Now, confident and cocky is definitely separated from arrogance. I've never been arrogant about anything. I've been a stand-up guy. I've been a stand-up person. I love my fans. I even love the fake ones that love me sometimes and hate me sometimes, because they've been my motivation and my fuel this whole career. You know, I was chasing my 10th title. I was hoping I can get it. I turned down a title fight next month in Oklahoma, because I told myself this was my last fight. I'm done. And that was it. And I'm not going to try to reinvent what happened Saturday night again, because then I end my career like most fighters do, on a loss, and an ugly loss. You know what I'm saying? And I won't say any names, but a couple of people I look up to and admire as fighters, you know, they took some ugly losses for their last fight. No matter how many fights I've won, no matter how many fights I've lost, no matter what I've done in this sport, no matter what I've done to get myself in trouble, all that went away after Saturday. So I shut up the whole, everybody that ever doubted me, ever said something bad about me, ever wished anything bad upon me. I shut up all the critics Saturday night with a 24-second finish. So for me personally, that's a storybook ending to an amazing career that I've had. And guess what? I did my career the same way my father told me. Do it your way. I won't be here, and I apologize, son, but I know you can be the man that I raised you to be. So between my father, Kevin Randleman, and Brandon Brewer, that fight was for those three. You know what I mean? And I know they were watching me. I know they've been helping me. They've been watching me fall short of success sometimes because I was in my own way. But at the end of the day, a 24-second finish, I don't think anybody could ever tell Melvin Guillard anything about any of his fights, because I started that way and I finished that way. Whatever happened in between, none of that even matters anymore.
Yeah, definitely true. Matt, let me ask two more things before you ask. One of my favorite Melvin stories, and I know that you talk about it almost as much as I do. There was a press event at a gun range in Tampa. I forget the name of the range. And I was there broadcasting. And you were going to come on the show. And we're like, where's Melvin? Where's Melvin? Nobody could find Melvin. Melvin was in the parking lot taking a picture of my van because your image was on the driver's side of the door. And we've got photos we're taking photos of you, taking photos of you on the van. To me, that was just the coolest.
I mean, there's little things like that that I cared about. You know what I mean? You guys had me on y'all van for, I think, probably a decade. And I mean, for me, I mean, a lot of my proudest moments was when I became a UFC fighter. when I became a video character on a UFC game. I mean, me being on you guys' van, like moments like that is what I care about, because no matter how many title belts you win, no matter all the things you accomplish, you know, that's a part of the sport. You know, sometimes all those things fade away, you know what I mean? And memories like that with good friends and people I met along the way, like yourself, you know what I mean? You're one of my closest friends in this game, no matter whether I was winning or losing, whether I was getting suspended or not getting suspended. You was always that same friend to me, man. And because of that, I love you. You will always be a close friend of mine. I will always be there for you. And with that being said, I'm not only sending you shorts, I'm sending you the gloves I fought in. I'm also sending you the hand wraps I fought in. So Knockout Radio, Mr. Randy, you will be receiving all those things in the mail here pretty soon.
And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I don't know if you want to say what you posted on Facebook or if you want me to read it. Do you remember pretty much?
Nah,
what
you can read it.
Right.
Nah, man, I've made a few posts, so I'm not sure which one it was.
Well, this one is going to be made into a plaque, and it's going to be displayed in the same shadow box with the gloves, with the shorts. Matt, this is why I continue doing this show. And I said before, you know, I can count on both hands people I call close friends in the business that we do. So Melvin posted this on Facebook. To my very good and close friends, Mr. Randy, this is my way of repaying you back for all the years of supporting my career and being a true friend, and for letting me grace the side of your Knockout Radio van all those years. It's only right you and only you keep the last pair of YA, Young Assassin, misunderstood trunks ever worn to the cage. Love you, my friend. And I can't tell you, Melvin, what that means to me. This, not alone the shorts and the gloves and all that, just this and this plaque is going to stay in my studio for the rest of my life. And no, Matt, you can't have that. And you were one of the first people I called when I got out of the hospital, just so you know, because I just wanted to
I didn't know. I had no idea you was in the hospital, man. I hope you're all right, man. You got to take care of yourself, you know?
I think I'm okay. I think so. Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, what else can you say? It's a legendary career, and the relationship you guys have is what makes combat sports so great, because, you know, there are times where athletes stumble and they go through adversity and you don't really know who's really there and who's not. So just seeing it play out like the way it is, it's a beautiful to watch. And my commitment to you, Melvin, is as you transition to this new identity and this next chapter of your life, you'll always have me and my circle of friends to continue on the legacy that Randy and you started. Because we know, honestly, we almost lost Randy. We were seconds away at any moment. A Widowmaker, 99% blockage. But I just want you to know that you'll always have this and Knockout Radio and our fans as always a support and resource. No matter what you're going through in life, we always got your back, dog.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. And I will be down there at Tampa pretty soon, actually. I'm purchasing myself a Ferrari for the very first time. You know, I was blessed enough. I was blessed enough to, you know, put some money away all these years and got myself a little nest egg. And then on top of that, I was blessed enough to have us fighters win our UFC settlement. And I'm in like the top 5 as far as payments going out. And it's definitely like maybe 6 figures twice over. So, yeah, it's not a bad way to end my career. You know what I mean? Technically, I'm a multimillionaire again. Wow. And it's in this time around, I'm 42. I'm a lot more mature. I'm no longer married, no kids. So shit, it's just time to live it up and enjoy it.
He said ship, S-H-I-P.
My bad.
Ship.
My apologies. I said ship, yeah. But this time around, man, I get to do things the right way in my life, and I'm starting with some investments. But to reinvest in my brother with his bakery. My brother's out in Pensacola. He's been there for years, and I mean he's tearing it up out there. My girlfriend right now, who I'm dating, she actually works for Chef Emerald Lagasse. So I got some things in the works, man, that I want to work on and make some promising investments. You know, because me personally, I just want to sit back, enjoy what the success I've had, help the next generation that's coming up. But I don't want to open my own gym. And I thought long and hard about that, but it's not something it's not where my heart is, because my heart's been in fighting since I was 14. You know, I've been doing this a very long time, and I've been stuck in gyms. I was a gym rat at one time, and you know, I don't want to be obligated to being somewhere. I do have clients that I train, and I think that's as far as I'll take it. You know, like, and then when guys need help, of course, I'll be there to help guys and see guys get to where they're trying to make it. But as far as opening my own facility, I've thought long and hard on that, and that's not something I'm going to do. But there are a lot of gyms that I've been privileged and graced to be a part of, like Jackson's and ATT, Black Zillions. I've been everywhere. I've trained all over the world with a lot of people. So for me personally, I'd rather revisit some of these teams and help some of the younger guys. And then right now, my heart is set on being in Louisiana full time. So we have a kid that's Hunter Headshot Smith. He's an amazing talent out here. He's from Lake Charles, actually. Me personally, I think he would be the next big thing beyond, like right after Dustin Poirier has been. You know, Dustin's a good friend of mine, teammate, and he put his mark on the game. And Louisiana's now, we have something to be proud of. You know, before me, it was Rich Clemente. We have guys that we looked up to that we were inspired by in Louisiana. And I can go anywhere, but I'd rather be here. You know what I mean? I'd rather give the help back to the guys that looked up to me that's right here from where I'm at.
Cool.
So,
well, like Matt said, anything that we can do, obviously. I'll let you go in a second, Matt, but you mentioned you're coming to Tampa. So when is that, or are we going to talk off the air about that?
Yeah, it'll be in a few weeks. I'm just waiting for my deposit to go through with the settlement. And then once all that's finalized, I mean, literally, man, I'm starting all over. You know, I'm purchasing a house, Ferrari, a Porsche. I think everything but a boat. But I think I might get a boat because me and my little brothers and my brothers might want to go fishing. You know what I mean? But you know, with all that being said, man, I have responsibilities that I have to take care of. I have people in my life that I've always taken care of. You know, family being most important to me. So, but yeah, I will be in Tampa not long from now to pick up my Ferrari that they've been holding for me. So, awesome. I wouldn't come to Tampa without dropping in on you and shit, let you take it for a spin. You know what I mean? I'll let you take me for a ride in it.
We'll do it. What, Matt? Close it.
So Melvin, you talk about Louisiana. I got a map behind me on the wall. So where's Melvin Guillard's heart from? What vibe? What characteristics? What community? Because I'm gonna thumbtack it and I'm gonna put you on the map. So where's
I'm born and raised right here in Louisiana in Kenner. It's called Kenner City. We're about 12 miles from the New Orleans line. I grew up in a little neighborhood called Lincoln Manor. And you know what's crazy? You asked that. That's where my whole life began and started as far as sports. My elementary school was in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? It's like eight or nine blocks from my street. And I grew up there. I played football. I played basketball. My uncle actually cut me twice from the AA team. He did. And I had to play for the B team and I actually ended up winning a championship. But because of that, it contributed a lot to my, I guess you could say, my anger as a kid. And when I found wrestling in 6th grade in middle school, I wrestled for my actual high school, which is Bonneville High School. I wrestled for my high school 7 years instead of 4 because I wrestled 3 years of middle school there. And from there, I mean, I just started terrorizing everything. So, you know, if I got to give a lot of thanks to anybody, it'll be my Uncle Paul George Jr. You know, him cutting me from that team, I was angry. And he knew it, though. But he also told me I was a better football player and much better wrestler than I would ever have been a basketball player. And I think he saved my life because I'm only 5'9". There's no way in hell I would have played basketball professionally. And anything I do, I want to go all the way. Like right now, I work for a company called Simbel right here in Munch. That's where I'm at right now. And we're a pipe fabrication company for all the oil rigs and stuff on the offshore. And I'm already a tack welder and they're teaching me to be a pipe fitter. But this is something I dreamed of as a kid too, but fighting and playing sports overtook that. Well, I get to live my second dream but it's just doing this is not going to be enough. So I'm trying to get to a point where I can do underwater welding. So if everybody wants to know what I'm up to right now, in the next future, within the next year, I'll be an underwater welder, and that's what, $200 an hour. I mean, I think that'll live up at least a little bit to the hype of the money I've made as a professional athlete.
No, for sure. And I don't know anybody else that can say that they're a 7-time letterman, a 7-time high school letterman.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was possible. So you got to be the one and only. That's awesome, Melvin.
Yeah, I lettered before I was a freshman in high school, man.
That's crazy. Well, thank you for your time.
And just to add to that, I got a starting position on defense because the seniors my freshman year tried to haze me and put me in a garbage can, and I beat the brakes off of 3 of them. And I thought I was in trouble the way the coach Lala and Lingo came running out the office screaming, Guillard, Guillard. I thought I was in trouble. I swear I did. And they pulled me in the office and they told me, you beat up 3 of our best guys. And I mean, I'm talking about 2 linemen. One was a defense end or something like that. I don't know, but they were some big boys. And I was little, no muscle, no nothing. And I ended up getting a starting outside linebacker position my freshman year of high school. So I think beating people up, it paved the way for me all the way to the end,
All the way. The coach said, all right, Melvin, we're either going to suspend you for 2 months or you're going to play on the football team.
Right.
But you know what? When you start doing the underwater scuba or the welding, like maybe your next fight is with Aquaman. I don't know.
Man, look, I just hope when I'm under there, I don't run into no big old sharks, man. You know what I mean? I love ocean. I love ocean animals. When I die and I'm cremated and dumped out in the ocean, I hope I'm either a black dolphin, a tiger shark, or an orca whale. It's one of the 3. I cannot be a goldfish or a jellyfish or a seahorse. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna be an apex predator as a mammal, I definitely can't be an apex. I definitely cannot not be an apex predator under the ocean,
under the water as well. Awesome, great stuff, Melvin. As always, dude. Thank you very much. I love you to death. Thank you for the gift.
Thank you, man. I love you too. Hey, I'll have your package in the mail here before Friday. I'll text you when it's in the mail and it's on the way. I'm gonna send it UPS. I'll send it overnight so that way you don't have to wait for it.
I can't wait. More importantly, I can't wait to see you when you come to town to pick up your car.
I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon, Mr. Randy.
I love you as well, man. That is Melvin Guillard. What an absolutely awesome dude from the very beginning. And, he would suffer a defeat. I would call. He'd win. I would call. But I do that with everybody. I make it a point. I'll call you more when you lose than you win for 2 reasons. One, you want me to stop calling you? Win. It's supposed to be funny. That's not funny.
Yeah,
not funny.
No, but yeah, no. That's when people need the support the most.
Yeah,
I see a lot of head trainers in the boxing corners, and the fight camp and the instruction and the work in the fight. But really, who's a master of after a fighter loses and consoling them is Mickey Gall. Like when his fighter lost in Tampa and in the locker room, the mentorship and the care, and that's when you really want the support. It's after you lose, not when you win. Everybody's calling you.
Everybody's there. Yeah.
So, but it's in those dark moments is when expectations weren't met, and when you failed, and your family and your friends and your corner, your team, and you're disappointed at yourself. When those people shine through, man, like that's a special relationship you and Melvin have, and it's cool to see it play out the way it did. And nobody deserves it more than you, man. You support the sport, and Jeremy Stevens doesn't even know your history. He thanked you for being a veteran and for your service to the country, but I don't think he even realizes your impact of covering the UFC and where it is today because of people like you and Ryan Bennett, who literally traveled away from your homes, took risk, promoted the sport, put it on your back, championed for it to make it a household name. And unfortunately, Ryan lost his life commuting to an event or coming home from. So the sacrifices that you made over your career deserve to be recognized. And it's glad to see it being paid back by the athletes and the people who appreciated it, like Melvin.
I remember people were scared of that dude back in the day.
Yeah, well, I mean, being associated with Kevin Randleman to do it. I mean, anybody associated with Mark Coleman or any of those legendary guys, that was terrifying back then. It wasn't normalized like it is now. People understand it's a sport now. People understand it's a career, and it's got sponsorships, and it's on ESPN. and now Paramount. But back then, if you were a UFC fighter, it was a different energy. It's a different thing.
No, for sure.
If you saw a UFC shirt, you knew they were a fan. They weren't just buying a shirt.
Well, and that was the whole thing with Mask and Tap Out. They didn't want non-MMA UFC fans to wear the Tap Out shirt. They thought that was selling out. Charles thought that it was selling out, that, just people liked the logo or whatever. That the Tap Out logo was made on a bet for a Slurpee.
Really?
That's how it was made. Dan,
I know the original tattoo. We've seen it. We were in Denver when we got to see it tattooed on Shannon the Cannon's leg.
Right. No, exactly. Dan and Charles made a bet for a Slurpee who could come up with the best name and logo, and Charles won a Slurpee. How about that? All right, so we got only a couple more minutes of hour number 2. Hour number 3, your female champion, your queen of violence in not only bare knuckle, but probably all combat sports. There's a lot of good fighters. There's a lot of great fighters. Christine Ferea is the queen of violence right now. We'll see what happens next week. A lot of hate, a lot of heat going on between Jessica Borga and Christine. I'm curious. I like them both.
And a terrifying individual. I mean, look, she knows we're friendly. Like, I'm not a foe. I was in Montana with the Billboard match, with BKFC, with Tony and the Roscoe Elite. I mean, Christina knows Knockout Radio. She knows us. She knows me. And at the after party, you still really don't know if she likes you when you're there. And it's not just me. It's like we talk to fighters like, oh, you're such a savage inside there in that moment of time, but outside you're such a different person. I don't really know how to gauge her. I don't know. Her energy is intense. And I've been around a lot of different fighters. I've seen every kind of, in the back of an arena, every kind of hype, what they do to hype up, what song they listen to, or what kind of energy, or her energy. I don't know if she ever has an off switch. And she's such a great poker face. You don't know if it's real or if it's genuine or if it's just a front to keep people away or to keep her in a protective shell where she just doesn't like people, or I don't know. Well, I guess we're going to find out, because I don't even know if she's going to like me on this interview.
Well, what's funny is I've never talked to her. We have communicated for years through social media. Okay. I've reached out a couple times to help her. She's helped me do something. I've tried to help, some other things, some personal things that we won't get into, family member. Her brother's going through some struggles right now. And she seems awesome, but I've never talked to her. And this will be the first time that we've spoken, in words other than, text messages and stuff.
I'm gonna be excited to see if she likes you. Maybe we can make that a poll question. Will Christina Ferea will she smile? That could be an over-under bet. How many times will she smile in the interview? How many times will she punch something because she's just tired of talking to us? I don't know.
Well, I think she's going to hold out a lot of that punching stuff until next Saturday. So, all right, let's go hit the top of the hour break. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Ryan Westner coming on with a big deal that he just made with Ferg Sports Bar. What?
In the stream, so we can edit these clips with the AI. And we'll start a new stream at the top of the hour.
We'll be right back.
This is Trent Dilfer, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. 3 detainees were shot today at an ICE facility in Dallas. FBI Special Agent in charge Joe Rothrock.
The FBI is investigating this incident as an act of targeted violence. It is unfortunately just the most recent example we've seen of targeted violence.
FBI Director Kash Patel posted a photo of bullets. One had anti-ICE written on it. The gunman died of what authorities say was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. CBS's Scott McFarland has more on the security concerns for these types of buildings with threats rising.
That's one of 9,000 or so federal offices and federal complexes in America. 9,000. There are thousands of Federal Protective Service officers. That there's only so much manpower to protect all of these places. The vulnerability of federal complexes, federal employees, including those involving immigration and customs enforcement, have been a profound and growing concern here in Washington that have today broken through.
Ukrainian President Zelensky spoke to the UN General Assembly today, warning that Russia has kicked off a deadly arms race along with its war on his country, and it won't stop with Ukraine, he says.
Ukraine is only the first, and now Russian drones are already flying across Europe, and Russian operations are already spreading across countries, and Putin wants to continue this war by expanding it.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio met in New York with Russia's foreign minister today after President Trump shifted his tone yesterday. CBS's Olivia Gassis.
The Kremlin, we know, has brushed off most of what President Trump said yesterday, in particular the paper tiger accusation. Today, the Kremlin spokesperson said Russia is not a paper tiger. We are a real bear.
Trump said Russia has been fighting aimlessly for 3.5 years. The New York Times is reporting that top House and Senate Democrats are investigating whether law firms that cut deals with President Trump earlier this year are breaking the law by doing free legal work for his administration. As he awaits sentencing, Sean Diddy Combs is facing new allegations, as Michael Wallace reports.
Combs' former stylist, Deontay Nash, filed a lawsuit this morning accusing the music mogul of sexual abuse and false imprisonment. Nash claims Combs abused him on multiple occasions and threatened Nash after he resigned. Nash testified against Combs during his trial this year, in which Combs was found not guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering conspiracy, but was convicted on 2 prostitution-related charges. Combs will be sentenced October 3rd.
On Wall Street today, stocks are lower for the second straight day. The Nasdaq is off by 105, the S&P down, and the Dow is off 160. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk, entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Yo, Monkey Boy. Yo, what's up? This is DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris. Diamond Dallas Page is going to make you feel the bang.
All right, we are back. Hour number 3. This is Knockout Radio. You know how much I hate, late, doctors late, people are late, and how much I absolutely love people that are early, on time, the military in me. Let's welcome, and she was early. She was ready to go. We were during the break. The queen of violence, Christine Ferea. Christine, how are you?
How are you?
I want to start with, how's your brother? How's everything going with him?
I mean, he's alive. It's terminal brain cancer. So we just take day by day and grateful for each day. Glioblastoma is very aggressive and unpredictable. But, we're just grateful he's here right now.
Yeah, we all are. We all follow you on social media. You and I just said this on the show. You and I have communicated via social media for a long, long time, but we've never spoken. This is the first time that we've had the chance to speak to each other.
Yes.
So, it's very nice to meet you face to face.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about what we're almost just over a week away, October 4th. A lot of hype on this fight, a lot of interest on this fight. Give us your thoughts. I mean, we've seen a lot of things. You and Jessica Borga you're gonna defend the Queen of Violence title next week.
hmm Yes. I've done all my talking. I've done all the building of the fight. Right now, I'm just locked in, um, focusing on destroying her and hurting her and embarrassing her in the most way I can. So, um, I'll let her use all the energy that she's going to um, do that doesn't focus on the fight. Right now, I'm just 100% locked in.
How difficult is it being chased all the time? Uh, this is the first time we've talked face to face. I don't know how much you know about me. I don't BS. I don't say things that I don't believe. You are the baddest female fighter, combat fighter in the world. Everybody's chasing you. I mean, how much stress and all that you got to block everything everywhere you're going.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants to debunk me and say, "Oh, she isn't the baddest. She isn't this. She isn't that." Um, I'll prove fight by fight who I am, and that's the name of the game. You're only as good as your current fight. So I can say, "Oh, look what I've done here, 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 and here," but you have to keep that up, and that's what makes someone great is being able to sustain that and be able to carry that for a long time. Anybody can get it, but can you keep it? And in what fashion are you keeping it? And is it mediocre? I'm always going for elite, and that's why I test myself, and that's why I do what I do. And going up in weight, I'm going up 13 pounds. She's only coming down 7. She needs an advantage. That's okay. A 145-pound champ needs an advantage over a 125-pound champ. It's ridiculous, and I'm taking that chance. I'm giving her opportunity. I have been in this sport and I've built my name solid. There's no shortcuts. There's nothing, no bullshit I've done. And I'm giving her opportunity. She needs to be on her knees right now, thanking me and her team instead of talking shit.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, you're gonna leave me after that, man. Look, Christine, I've known you a long time. I distinctly, I told the story earlier. We were in Montana. My wife and my kids were there. They were in the hotel. Went to the after party. Tommy Kalehesi did what he does with Billboard Math. He bought out the bar. I'm with DJ Tony. I'm a friend. I'm not a foe. But that energy that you carry.
He said he was petrified of you. He said he was scared to even come near you.
Your energy is so intense. And look, I'm a commissioner. I'm in the back. I've seen a lot of people hype themselves up. I see a lot of people fake it and put on a show and pretend like there's something or not. But your energy and the way you lock in and just your vibe, your frequency, it's some of the most intense I've ever been around. And me personally, I think it's one of the most respectable characteristics about you because it feels like you're genuine at all times to you, regardless of what anybody thinks. And in a world where everybody's fake, it's appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's no other choice. Like, I could trying to be something I'm not, and I'm still not going to be like, look at me. I have tattoos, short hair, tomboyish. Nobody's gonna like me anyway, so I might as well just be me. Just be me. I mean, that's all I can do. So, um, that's what I've learned. Growing up the way I have, and my choices, who I am. Just be yourself and do what's right, and that's when the real people that are supposed to support you and love you come. You know.
One of the things that I've enjoyed following you, and I just saw an interview, and I don't like to watch other people's stuff, but you were talking about Rodney Hinton, and his fight, and just your reaction when you just did it. To me, that says a lot. Not only are you proud of what you're doing, you're proud of the people around you and what they're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Everyone around me, I want people around me that are going to enhance me and push me to be better, and I'm going to do the same for others. You know, um, I want to be the best. That's just something that's in deep within me. I'm always trying to be better. I'm a perfectionist, I guess. It could get annoying, I'm sure, with people around me, but that's just who I am, and that's what I want around me. And anybody that comes around me, I expect the best out of you, and I'm not going to stand for any less. And I expect the same from them towards me.
And that we just had Melvin Guillard on, and I know that I think you two know each other, and he gifted me his shorts and his gloves from his retirement fight, and we've been friends for a long, long time. And it's having those type of people around not yes men, yes women, yes girls, whatever. You want real
Mhm.
people. And if you're doing something,
Yeah.
you need somebody to step up and say, hey, you're doing, and that's
Yeah.
Melvin. And that sounds like that's you as well.
Yeah, yeah. Melvin's a good guy. I like him. I'm sad to see him go, but I'm very happy that he can, relax and enjoy his life after retirement. The fight game is pretty ruthless and a high stress industry. So
Well, it sounds like he's doing all right. He's coming to Tampa to pick up a Ferrari. So
oh,
I think life
yes.
is good, with
Absolutely.
Melvin. So
Yeah.
for somebody that puts off that demeanor, what's
Mhm.
what's a nice day, an enjoying day, for Christina?
Enjoying day? Yoga.
Okay.
Just yoga. Everything is based around the fight game. And people may people wouldn't believe what kind of life I have, and they might say, "Oh, it's toxic or it's bad or it's dumb," but I'm doing what I got to do to fulfill my legacy and what I promised myself. So I can't. I'm all in or all out type of person. So like a relaxing day for me is just recovering, massage, preparing for the next workout session. To be honest.
If
So
you could,
Christina, okay.
no, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
So if you could, we always like to get to know the fighters, like on our fan base. So if you could go to dinner with 4 people, living or dead, who would it be? Who do you draw inspiration from? Who's coming to dinner with you?
Hold on one sec. Let me jump in since Matt steals one of my questions as usual. You have to always include real or fictitious. So
Okay.
living or passed away, real or fictitious, and nobody from the gym, not family, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody that if you could sit down and hang out with.
Okay, I want Sugar Ray, Mayweather, Muhammad Ali, and Tyson.
There's an alignment. You can't get better than that.
You can't get away from that.
I mean,
Already
it's
know.
all in the sport of boxing.
Well, it depends on what Sugar
Yes.
Ray. It could be the musician Sugar Ray. She didn't
Leonard.
clarify. I know.
I
I
want
know.
Leonard.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Wow.
fight week like? What's the camp is now over. You're going to be in Newark on Monday, Tuesday, whenever. What's that like for you? Is it still high everything, or is that when you start kind of bringing it down a little?
I bring it down, fight week. Bring it down and heal up and mentally, you know, revive and, from the depletion of everything. Um, yeah, fight week is just, soaking in the energy. I'm very analytical and I catch the vibes and the energy from what's going on around me and how I'm instinctual type person. So I don't ever have a plan. I always have different scenarios that I run through my mind and break down. So I'm ready for any situation. And I like to be by myself. I just want to be alone. I don't like to really talk to many people and just,
I know. I'm one of them. I'm the guy that you don't want to be around. I felt it.
No,
But that's what makes you elite. That's what makes you elite, though. Because
I lock
that
in.
the ability. Yeah.
I don't like being around a bunch of people and all of that. Like some people need all their whole crew around them, and it's good because it's good for the looks and the camera and all of that shit. But
She said ship.
man,
She said ship.
ship. I said
SHIP.
all. I did. I said
Uh,
ship.
I just
All
I
that
want to
ship.
make sure people knew.
I don't curse, sir.
No,
Yeah.
no, of course not.
Or lie.
Talk about your relationship with David Feldman, BKFC, and not only what you're doing for the organization, but what Dave and the organization has done for you.
Oh wow. Okay, so David Feldman, man, he's giving me opportunity that nobody would, and I've always known my capabilities and what I could do for a company, a promotion, and just nobody really gave me the chances because of, I think, you know, a lot of the time it's just I didn't have the right image or I didn't have the right approach. I don't know, doesn't matter. But he gave me the opportunity. He was fair. Um, I'm able to help, you know, set a bar in this company that will be for everlasting. And uh, I think the we give each other what we need, and he's helping me, I'm helping him. and I get a huge platform to make my dreams possible and give my family what they need. I'm in a great neighborhood, got the kids in a good school, have a nice new car, bought my mom a car, got taken care of my brother, able to do all these things while doing what I love. And I cannot be more grateful, and I cannot ever, no matter what happens in my fight career, I mean, I've already done so much and been given so much that I can never be disappointed. I always want to do better and more, but the position I'm in, it can never be taken from me. Everything that I've done can never be taken from me. And that's because of David Feldman's dream and his commitment to this. And I know he's sacrificed a lot. I've sacrificed a lot. I've lost a lot behind this journey, and the faith and trust that I put in it has I stuck by it, and I'm loyal. When I'm loyal to something and a purpose and someone, I'm 100% in. That's the type of person I am. If I'm not, then I'm not. I'm not the person to deal with. But yeah, uh, David does what he says, and if you're loyal and you're good to him and you fight your ass off, you always have a place to fight, and that's all fighters can ask for. That's all we can ask for is just given the opportunity and being able to make money for our family, and that's what he does, man. And I'm grateful for all the BKFC staff. I wasn't always the most liked, because of my mouth and my attitude. Sometimes is it's not the greatest when preparing for fights. But everybody understands that, and they get it. When I'm out of camp, I'm good. I'm better.
You're better. You're better.
Yeah, better.
All right, Matt, go ahead and ask your Matt question.
So on the wall behind me, I've got a map of the world. I want to know where the queen of violence, Christina Ferea, where is your vibe? Where's your heart? Where's your grit come from? What community raised you? Not where you're born, but what represents you?
I'm Native American, Hispanic, Mexican, and I feel like my fighting spirit comes from that. I work hard. I'm fearless in battle. I go straight in. I just believe that that's where a lot of my fight comes from, and a lot of my passion and desire to conquer and overcome and fight, and be the best in the world. So, I didn't know how much, Native American I was until I did my genealogy stuff. And so I was like, oh, makes sense, 'cause I'm hard to kill, super crazy.
So between you and Jeremy Stevens, he said the heavens above. I don't know where to put that on my map. I don't even know where to.
Well, he also said below as well. He said the heavens above, and he said below as well.
So, but I don't know where to put. I don't know where to put that on the map. I got to thumbtack it. So, give me one location on the globe that represents your heart.
Represents my heart, huh? I love Las Vegas, man.
All right, Las Vegas, put it down.
Las Vegas is my home, dude.
And we're going to end it with this. Las Vegas, what's your favorite restaurant out there? I'll be out there pretty soon. I need to go to a new place and try.
I'm a very simple person. I'm it's Sapporo. Like, I love Sapporo. It's a sushi. It's like a boat, like the boat sushi stuff. I love it. Check it out. Sapporo's the best.
All right. I definitely will make some out. Christina, thank you very much for your time. I know I'm going to have your address. We're going to send a care package thanking you for coming on. And I'm not going to say good luck. I'm just going to say have fun next week.
Oh, I will. Thank you, sir.
Sure, you will.
Bye, guys.
We'll talk to you again really, really soon. Take care.
Okay.
That is your Queen of Violence champ. And we're going to go hit a quick break. And when we come back, we should have Ryan Wessner on to talk about a huge opportunity, a huge thing that is coming with him and Mark Ferguson at Ferg Sports Bar. We'll be right back.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Reggie Bush, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast. Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com. Conveniently located in Pinellas Park, Cool Breeze AC is just one phone call away. Reach them at 727-954-3605. And their highly skilled and knowledgeable technicians will be at your service 24/7, ensuring your ultimate comfort all year round.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Hey, hi, this is Mike Schmidt. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
Nice.
All right, we are back, bottom of hour number 3, and very excited about this announcement that we are going to talk about right now. Let's welcome back to the program. He's on quite often, former co-host, now a sponsor of the show from Rhino Cards. Hey, Rye, what's up?
Hey, man, just celebrating the Lions' victory from Monday night.
Oh,
you know, I've been a long-suffering Lions fan, and that one felt as good as any win ever.
I thought you were going to say you're celebrating that I'm still alive.
Well, that's a close second, Randy. It's not that I don't love you, but I've known the Lions longer.
You love the Lions more. So everybody knows Ryan has a card shop in St. Pete off of 4th Street and 11th Avenue. I go there all the time. Great products in there. We just did a pack war the other day that I won with my Max Holloway buyback card.
Yes.
But you have a major announcement, a very exciting announcement that I may infiltrate and may even be involved in more than you're aware of. But let the audience, the national audience, know what's going on with you in Ferg Sports Bar.
Well, we're trying to put as many cards as we can on the menu and have it be, you know, part of the thing that you could just order. You can have it broken in the back or ordered straight up to your table to go, to keep, to open. It's going to be pretty exciting. I haven't ironed out all the details of how we're going to, like how many products we're going to put in at first, but we're definitely going to start introducing them slowly but surely. So it'd be fun to check it out.
All right. So since Rye's pretending like he's never been in an interview and done radio before, there's going to basically be some form of card shop, cards available at Ferg Sports Bar. So
that is the plan, but I don't want to, I don't want to put the cart before the horse. I don't have them in there yet, but that is the plan, and we're super excited about it.
So I guess my first question, and Matt, I'm sure you have some as well, but my first question, it's kind of like when Dave Feldman's on or whoever's on, how do you decide who the opponent's going to be? How do you decide when you're going to sign new fighters? If there's going to be limited and, it's only space, that's available and what Mark is going to be able to, to provide for you,
right.
How are you going to decide? I mean, UFC cards, NFL cards, baseball cards. There used to be a team that played right across the street there. It's going to be pretty difficult, I would assume. And then even more so, let me ask, high value, low value. Do you put the big stuff there? Do you put stuff that, an 8, 10, 12, 15-year-old can afford? What's going in?
Well, the high-end stuff would definitely rotate through just because the responsibility to keep track of it is such that you just can't have it laying around somewhere. So that stuff is kind of going to be specific to an event or something like that. What I'm trying to focus on is being in that affordable range for people to get cards, but get a box open, take it home with you. That kind of thing is how we're going to start it out, because ripping a pack, you can have somebody rip the pack for you, but ripping packs is fun. We do it in here, Randy. I mean, I know that you like it.
I love it.
I love it.
No, I went to celebrate that I was still alive with you, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a box home. I'm going to go sit, and Rye's like, let's open the box, let's rip the box, let's have some fun. It's so much fun to do. And the thing and I know you have some questions, Matt, the thing that drives me crazy about ripping boxes, it's like playing golf. All right. You're absolutely awful at it. And then your third time playing, you're on the 8, 20, 40, 60. You're at about the 55th hole of 3 rounds, and you finally get a good shot, or you finally get an autograph card. And now you're like, I'm going back down to Rhino Cards. I'm going to go get 3 more boxes.
I'm telling you, it's like the universe knows the time when you need one, and it drops it in for you. But the buyback program for UFC is here to stay. It's part of their investment. It's part of what they do with their flagship product. Topps is sticking with those Chrome buybacks because it's one of their most successful programs ever. And having those products available off the menu at Ferg's is kind of the big announcement. That's going to be super fun. So
it's not just Ferg's. I mean, it was just voted the #1 sports bar in America, Ferg's.
Yeah.
So to have your
Raw
cards
potatoes.
there, that's amazing. I mean, what better sports community than Ferg's to have a card shop off the menu. And me personally, I've never ripped open a box. I don't even know what it really is. I've never experienced it, but I've seen it online. I've seen, Dana White, and I've seen famous people doing them live on streams. So I look forward to coming down and trying it for the first time.
Well, go for it, bud. I got you covered. The UFC product, especially the hobby stuff, when I get it, it goes very quickly because the fan base may not be as numerous as these other sports, clearly, but the tenacity at which the people chase the cards is, I mean, they come after it. And if they find out you've got the good stuff, it doesn't last long. So.
Well, let me ask something else. And it's not just when they find out. It's kind of like when you find out the grocery store on 62nd just hit the big lottery. Talk about some of the cards that people have hit inside your store.
We got a messy out of 25 redemption that they had to resubmit. It was such a huge card that they had to send it back to get a replacement signature from Messi because it's such a high-end card in his first MLS card to get that they had to redo it because the autograph wasn't up to snuff. So that's one of the biggest cards we've ever hit in the shop. We've hit some really low-numbered Shohei Ohtani stuff in here that is probably in the second range, something like that. And oddly enough, we hit the Kenny Pickett Superfractor 1/1 out of Select. And the guy sold it for $4,500. That card's probably worth about $150 right now. But that's
he sold it at the right time.
He got out early and he was right to do it. And my goodness, did he that was quite a windfall for him. It was an $800 box.
I know that you got to go. You have some family responsibilities, but talk about what's the Pokemon. Talk about the Pokemon, because every time I'm in there, grown adults, not kids. Grown adults are buying Pokemon boxes. There's Pokemon.
This is the new set.
And what's the card? What's the searched card? What are we looking
for? The Mega Evolutions set is yet to be determined which one's really going to blow up, because that doesn't even drop until Friday. But those ones fell off the truck, and I've got them a couple of days early, so just doing what you have to do as a small businessman.
So you need to get down to Rhino Cards in St. Pete.
I've got
What's let me ask this.
I limit it to 2 per person.
2 per person, so bring 4 people and you can get 8 of them. What's the time and the date of the event at Ferg's? Is that out yet?
No, but the date is October 17th. We're going to be down there doing a nice card event, trying to introduce the what it's like to do the cards in the store, and hopefully have all that lined up to coincide with a Rat concert. It's going to be pretty sweet.
That's what goes around comes around. That's Rat, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, round and round.
Round and round.
You can actually bring your cards and turning it into a trade night, so people can just, at their own leisure trade cards. Bring your stuff, see what you got. We'll have a little table set up and do some trading.
Good stuff. Ryan, as always, thank you for your time. I need to get back down there. I mean, my habit's kicking in. I'm starting to shake. I need to get down there.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to welcome you back, buddy. We're glad you're still with us. So thanks for that.
I appreciate it. I'm not going to let you guys out of having to deal with me, so I'm going to keep continuing. Thanks for your time. Go get your son. I appreciate it. That is
all right, guys. All right, thanks, fellas. See ya.
Take care. That is Ryan Westner from Rhino Cards. All right, bottom of the hour. Let's go pay a bill or 2. Maybe I can afford a box or 3 down at Rhino Cards. We'll be right back.
This is Matt Hughes, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Rhino Cards, located at 406 11th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, is your one-stop card collection facility, specializing in all sports, Pokemon, Star Wars, and of course, Knockout Radio's favorite, the UFC cards. If you're looking to purchase, sell, or trade, then Rhino Cards is the place for you. Details are coming on some very awesome UFC card giveaways, thanks to Rhino Cards as well. That's Rhino Cards, conveniently located in St. Petersburg, on 4th Street and 11th Avenue North.
Saturday, October 4th, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship debuts at the Prudential Center in Newark. In the main event, it's an all-out war when the reigning king of violence, Platinum Mike Perry, defends his title against a warrior ready to bring the brutality, Jeremy Lil Heathen Stevens. In the co-main event, New Jersey boys collide as Frankie the Answer Edgar fights Jimmy El Terra Rivera. Plus, the first ever queen of violence will be decided when bad blood boils over as Christine Misfit Ferea throws down with Jessica the Black Widow Borga. Avoid the sellout. Get your tickets now at bkfc.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hey guys, this is Kelvin Gastelum. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back. Final 2 segments of this week's show. This is Knockout Radio, and like I said, we've pulled all music, or we would be playing in and out of every break Andy Grammer, I think his name is. It's great to be alive, or life is good, or one of those cliches. But it certainly is. Let's see how I'm going to be more a gentler, nicer Randy. But you didn't. I was going to bring it up, and you didn't. Christine Ferea smiled at least 13 times.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I'm afraid to even comment on it. I don't know.
She may be listening.
She's intimidating, man. She's just got that energy. It's like, it's just, man, because she's a badass. Like, you can feel it, right? There's people who pretend to be tough and they walk around and chest up and they're walking through but man, she doesn't have to say anything. You just feel it.
I'm excited about the fight. We had Jessica on.
Awesome.
We went out and we filmed a little shtick, with Jessica. And like I said, that's the first time. And Christina and I have talked on social media, Facebook Messenger and stuff, quite a few times. And she seemed awesome. That was the demeanor that she puts out. That's how she lives her life. But, it is a kinder, gentler Christina in there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, you saw with Jeremy Stevens, a wild man and a off the wall kind of guy, and praising God and just a better life and health and respect for the military, and I mean, and even Melvin Guillard, when you joked about the last professional fight, but we'll probably see you fight in the street, and he's like, nah, that's not me either. Like, so you're starting to see that these fighters that turn this into their life and their identity and their instinct are starting to realize that after this is over, I'm still a person. I'm still a human, and I can't be out there reckless. And
oh yeah, they don't want to. You don't want to be in a street fight. And that's the whole thing. And that's what all these athletes have said. I get paid to do this, and now I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm moving on. There's other things that I want to do. I don't want to be in. And they're older. They're more mature. Yeah. And all three of those people have texted me since they've been on. And I appreciate Melvin for everything he's doing and has done, but now he's also sending me the jacket that he wore going to
You're not going to decline it like Ansel Adams or Ansel Williams, are you?
No, Ansel Williams.
No, keep it.
Anson.
Keep the jacket. Man.
Yeah. Yep.
You should ask Christine for the fight gloves after the fight's over.
Why are you an idiot?
What do you mean? Oh,
she doesn't wear gloves, you moron.
Damn it. I've seen BKFC gloves. I've seen promotional gloves with BKFC on them. Didn't make sense to me either.
Yeah, well, a product. That's so that people can train BKFC wearing BKFC gloves, but certainly not. I'm still waiting for, they were coming out with a card line and so many things, which I still think they need to do. There are some names, in that organization. And let's be honest, there's up and coming names, and Rodney Hinton is one of them, which you get a pack of cards with Rodney in it and you're going to go, oh, who's this guy? Put it aside. Because I'm telling you, that guy's legit. He's the real deal.
Well, I mean, with AI and technology, I mean, aren't some of these just going to be digital impressions? I mean, we saw that years ago with, like those holograms and
So Brady was involved in that, where it was like they're not real cards. It's like a thing that you can watch on your phone for X amount of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
How about Melvin getting a Ferrari?
Yeah, I mean, I hope he doesn't blow all that money. he's buying a Ferrari and a Porsche and a house and a boat. I'm like, whoa, slow down, man. Slow down. Like, let's, be strategic with this, So I don't know, maybe we'll reach out to him and help him with a little, impulse. And
I was going to say it on the air, but since you've already said it, I'm going to what it's like. Johnny Mack was just in town, and I said that, John McLaughlin, I believe the only defensive lineman gunner in the NFL. Now, whether it's ever or during that time or whatever, I remember going to his house. He had like 2 cars and 2 apartments. I'm like, Johnny Mack, what are you doing? You can only live in one house. You can only drive one car. And I don't remember who said this, and I know that I've said this numerous times. I used to do a player show, different player from the Tampa Bay Bucks every week, and I had a player on who was retired, and I said, what are you doing now? And he goes, nothing. And I kind of looked at him, and he goes, I was taught early, live like you're not in the NFL when you're in the NFL, so that you can live like you're in the NFL when you're not in the NFL. I mean, it's great advice. Don't blow your money. You're making more money at 21, 22, 23 at a young age. Put it aside. Do what Gronk did. He didn't spend one dime, of his salary.
Right.
And now, granted, he's still working, but he doesn't have to. How many people have to work after being in such a successful line of business? It's a shame.
It is. Absolutely. Oh, man.
Baseball's coming to an end. I like that.
The Rays deal's finalized, apparently. Like two more little minor checks off the list, and there's a new owner, and looks like the Rays are moving to Tampa.
Well, yeah, because he owns property there.
Wow, and that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. It's a shame. It's a shame. We've talked about Ferg Sports Bar a couple times. What that's going to do to Ferg Sports Bar? What's that going to do to some of those other restaurants that that opened up after the Rays been there? Ferg's been there forever,
right?
But some of the others that jumped on it, I mean, they're going to die. A lot of them are going to go out of business.
No, St. Pete's growing. There's limited space. They're going to repurpose that whole area. It'll fill in between what they've already developed. It's going to be amazing what they do in St. Pete. So,
how long is that going to take? I've gone to Ferg Sports Bar. I've gone there, and there's 2 tables, not 2 tables available, 2 tables being used. People don't go down there during the day. I don't go down there at night. So I mean, I do take out from time to time there, but when there's a game across the street, it's packed.
Yeah.
When there's an event in the Trop, it's packed. Let's see.
I know the men, I think it's the men's high school basketball tournaments, like the Lakeland just lost at the RP Center funding building. It just got moved to Jacksonville, that they're moving into a Division I court, that's more suitable for the tournaments. And they had the restaurant owners that are right across the street in Lakeland talking about how their businesses are going to be greatly affected because the sports is no longer across the street. The tournaments brings in tens of thousands of people and fans, people spending money. So, you're right. Like without the Trop, Fergs does need all the help it can get because that is a lot of loss of revenue.
And if they do build all of the things you're talking about, you're still talking years from now.
That's true. And the things they're going to build are competition to them, probably. I mean,
right.
It's going to be restaurants,
for sure.
bars, right? So it's not like a sporting event where you're getting the post game fans and crowds, and I mean, every opening day for like 10 years, I was at Ferg's. I mean, it was just the thing I did, like whatever, no matter what. That was always like the routine. So. But I think it will be good for the baseball team in Tampa. I think, although I do live in Tampa and they play here, nobody really cares.
I don't care.
Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Nobody's like, hey, you want to go to a baseball game tonight? Like, there's none of that conversation in the street, at the neighborhood market, at the whatever.
Not to the point, not to the point and the level that it should be. I mean, it's still talked about a little bit, but it is what it is. Let me tell you what my schedule is next week. You ready for this?
What do you got? Mm-hmm.
So I head to Vegas next week. Tuesday, Dana White Contender Series. Wednesday, I'll broadcast like we did in the past from the Apex, streaming it. We'll have the guests on. We're going to play with it a little bit at the top of the hour to make sure that that's going to be successful. And then Wednesday night is the premiere of the Smashing Machine. So
nice.
They're all going to be there. I don't know if
you're going?
Oh, I'm definitely going. Yeah.
Oh man, don't.
Yeah. So that's at Red Rock Casino, I believe. That'll be Wednesday. Thursday's the BJJ tournament, so I'll be there. I'm going to film all this stuff. I'm going to shoot some videos. We're going to get it up on the YouTube channel. Friday is Slap, so we'll do the Friday Slap. Then Saturday, of course, is UFC 320. Great card. Looking forward to it. And then, like I said, even though I said I'm going to step back, I'm going to get rid of the stress, I'm going to blah, blah, not getting a hotel. I'll be at the airport about 2 o'clock in the morning, now Sunday morning, when I board the plane. Where do you think I'm going Sunday?
Probably to a Bucks game.
They play in Seattle, and I'm going to Seattle.
Wow.
So, the 50 year of both the Seahawks and the Bucks. So that game's going to be in Seattle. I'm going to fly up there, and then Red Eye at home. So nothing's changed.
And I'll tell you what, if you go outside and take a big whiff, what do you smell?
Pot.
No. Like, what else do you smell then?
What,
like
in Seattle?
Whiff. No, here in Tampa Bay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Seattle, because we went to there's like not a mountain, but it's kind of like where people put headphones on and they're dancing around to their own music.
Okay, like a silent disco.
I don't know what people are listening to or what they're dancing to. But guess who I'm going to tailgate with on Sunday in Seattle?
Hold on, don't tell me. Tattoo tiger on his rib cage, ties to the Buccaneers. It's Michael Chiesa.
Michael Chiesa. So
I dug that one out of my memory. I was like, wait, I could see it, and I was just going through the layers.
Yep.
Bam, Michael Chiesa.
Michael Chiesa, I've reached out, and we talked about it on the air. We're going to hang out. Hopefully they have a nice spread for the tailgate. And talking about the Buccaneers, what a complete animal, stud, phenom, Baker Mayfield. Love the guy.
Yeah, and number 2's not bad either.
Oh, for a rookie?
But that smell I was telling you about. It's all those new Buccaneer jerseys I've seen around town. Smells like polyester. There's a lot of new fans. There's a lot of USF gear and a lot of Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That all looks pressed and clean and no stains and no wrinkles. So a lot of new fans coming this way. When you're 3-0, winners like to jump on board.
Let's see what happens this Sunday. When
they lose. Yeah, Randy will be in the locker room to console and support and do what you always do.
Well, no, I'm gonna be in the winners' locker room on Sunday.
Okay.
Because I'm going in both locker rooms.
Okay. Does the NFL treat you the same as the fighters? Like with Melvin, like do NFL players like give you like a jersey from the end of their career? Or,
no.
Like how's the relationship? Is it different? Like what? Is it fighting because it's more personal, because it's an individual sport?
No, I mean,
one-on-one?
let me backtrack when I said no. I've kind of made comments that, a lot of players give jerseys away. Marcus Jones used to come to the show, and this is MMA, UFC related as well, because Marcus fought at UFC 100. He would give away tickets. He would give away jerseys. There'd be fans that would come up to players at my show, say, hey, any chance I can get a game jersey? And they would give them to him. And I would never really ask. I got a couple of the guys, whose shows I did. I have a Chris Hovan. I've got a couple others, Michael Pittman, Allstott, blah, 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 blah. But recently, some of the guys that have retired have gifted me. Will Golston, who I saw last Sunday, gave me one. Josh Wells gave me one. So I have gotten a couple. That's why I'm really looking forward to, putting this studio together here at Cool Breeze. I'd like to have it at home too, but I like leaving the house. I'd like getting out, getting away from the family and the pets and all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully Joe Marquis can put something really, really cool together.
I think he can. Yeah, he's got a good vision. I think at least he'll be good by building like a roof. So if you need a roof
and I told him that's where we need to start. Where we need to go after the start is this last break. So let's go hit the last break, and then we'll close out this week. Week 1 live broadcast of my second stint at Life. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong Staff Zone, and we'll be right back.
It's Joel Romero here and the Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hello, this is Randy Jones. I'm the cowboy from Village People. I sing YMCA, and I sing a song called Macho Man. But you're listening to Knockout Radio and my friend, the Nacho Man.
All right, we are back. What are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, I gifted that to you. Oh, yeah, maybe put you're such an idiot. How about unmuting yourself, dummy?
Yo, I got the Macho Man, the real life Macho Man, to call you the Nacho Man. And with the Macho Man Randy Savage biopic coming out, we got to get you in that documentary, Randy, to share your Macho Man stories, both this Macho Man and also the real Randy Poffo, Randy Savage.
I'll find it once I get out of here. You know, we're off the air in 9 minutes. We're going to do a real quick run through on a couple things. I'll get out of here by a quarter after. Grab some food.
Let me ask you a question. So you had a near-death experience. You didn't know if you were going to wake up after the surgery on Monday.
Well, that's not true. That's not true because they didn't put me to sleep.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're awake.
I was wide awake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And wow. They told me as they were wheeling me, which I knew, it's a procedure that they don't put you to sleep for. But as they're wheeling me, I said, "Are you putting me to sleep?" I knew the answer. He said no. He goes, "But you'll be so loopy, you won't know what's going on."
Okay.
I wasn't loopy at all. Zero loopiness. Yeah, I heard. And when my wife read the report, she was a little perturbed that they didn't give me more, but of whatever. So when I went to my primary and I asked him, he goes, "Well, I'll be honest. I'm not defending him, but I wouldn't have given you more than what they did as well. Because as it turns out, and I don't know when they found out how blocked it was, that if they would have given me more of whatever that other drug was, it would have put me in total cardiac arrest.
Wow.
And there would have been zero chance. Dr. Davidson told me if I didn't go to the ER when I went, now I went on Saturday, they didn't do the procedure till Monday, so probably I would have been okay. But if something would have happened at the house, I would have never made it to the hospital.
Wow. So what, is your wife mad at you?
For living?
No, well, not just living, but she retires from Tampa General after 40 years of service, and her first week of retirement, she's back at Tampa General with your dumbass.
Oh no, we talked about it. You know, we talked about it.
So it's that's good. So shout out to Sam Alvey. I know prayers were sent, so we were thinking about you. And it's a great thing about the fight community. A lot of, even with the Barbarian, Jake earlier, saw the cross on his chest, the medallion around his neck. So a lot of
I got mine
MMA
too.
Fighters.
I got mine too.
Yeah, it's good to see it in the fight game, right? Do you think fighters are more religious because of how dangerous it is versus like other sports?
I don't think so. I just think people, if they are, they are, and if they're not, they're not. I don't think what they do for a living has anything to do or means anything. Do you?
No, I wonder if you see NASCAR drivers, doing the same thing you see football players when they score a touchdown. I don't know.
I think that's just how they were brought up, and they're religious people, and there's nothing wrong with it. And in my opinion, there's nothing wrong if you're not religious. You live your life how you do, and consequences, non-consequences, there is, there isn't. you may find out, and the people that don't believe, they'll never know. That's just my opinion.
So as you were going into the procedure, you didn't know how bad the blockage was, right? Like you only found out after.
I found out why they were doing it.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I'm saying. I was not loopy when I heard the doctor saying 99, because they only put a stent in or stints in if you're over 70% blocked. So my question to the doctor before I went in is, what am I rooting for? Am I rooting that I'm 30% blocked, or am I rooting that I'm 71% blocked? Which is weird to say. I'm hoping that I'm 71% blocked of an artery that can end my life.
So do you remember what the first thought was? Like when you heard that as you're going through the process, you hear 99. Was there a final thought like, hey, like if this is it, are you praying? Are you like repenting? Are you like on death row? Like,
no, I think if I remember, I think my thought was, well, I guess I'm getting a stent. That was my only thought.
Really? Okay. And what's been the biggest change since the procedure? Like
nothing?
Is there one thing, nothing in the diet, nothing's changed?
No. Matter of fact, I've eaten more ice cream in the last week than I have in the last year.
Why? Because it's all bonus time?
Well, my dad and we both lost a lot of weight at one time, 7 years ago. And as soon as he lost 70 some pounds, and my mom, wouldn't let him cheat, wouldn't let him have ice cream, wouldn't let him have spaghetti. Then he got sick and died. So, I'm not going to go lunatic-ish, but I think the thing that I'm working on the most is the stress, the stress of drivers that piss me off. When I went to my cardiac therapy, my appointment was at 10 o'clock. At 10:07, I'm still not in the back, and I'm starting to get mad. I got to let it go. And then I love the therapist. She's from Philadelphia. She's the best. And as I walked out, I said, just don't be late on Friday, okay? And it was just kind of funny. But that, I just got to let stress go. I got to let a lot of things go. People that I've let out of my life, but I still am aware of, don't care anything about them.
Well, because that was my answer earlier to when you asked, what the number one killer of men is. And I would say it's chronic stress.
Yeah.
I think people who can't control stress.
You know what's weird? Here's what's weird. So my blood pressure has always been so high, crazy high, okay? On medication, all blah, 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 blah. When I went to the hospital on Saturday and they took my blood pressure twice an hour for the 2.5 days I was there, it's the lowest it's ever been while I was in the hospital. I had my cell phone, but I just didn't have that stress of everything, and I don't feel any different. I truly don't.
So I'm not a doctor, but wouldn't a high blood pressure be an indication that there was blockage in the artery? Because it's like a garden hose, right? If you turn it on and just let it flow out, but if you kink it a little bit, it builds up more pressure.
Yeah.
So your high blood pressure was an indication. Oh.
But if it's lowered, I'm assuming, and a lot of people are against any kind of medication, but if I'm on medication to lower my blood pressure and my blood pressure is lower, still high, but lower, then the kink isn't as big, is what I'm assuming. But all I know is I'm still alive. It's great to be alive. It's fun to be alive. Next week's going to be a fun week.
Staying Alive? Was that
Staying
a song?
Alive?
Staying Alive? The Bee Gees? Is that the Bee Gees?
The Bee Gees.
Yeah. Speaking of Bee Gees.
I'm looking forward to next week. But what? Speaking of the Bee Gees, what?
Be a Rising Star is a thing now. And it's my new foundation that I'm working with. I got my own congregation. I got a church now. So I can start to bring some of this into the real world. And, look, we all have a worship gene. It's called the VMAT2. And I have a physical device and a concept to help people connect to a higher power, whether you believe in Jesus or not, or whatever. I have a new process and a new concept. So this whole head trainer role, it's going to change the world, man. You're going to see, Randy, you're part of it.
The best part of your line is the show is over. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It was a great show, great guests. Great conversation. Hit us up on social media. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, Knockout Radio. Next week, all week, I'll be broadcasting live on our YouTube channel from Vegas. Matt from his studio. I'll be in Vegas. Until next week, thanks, everybody. See ya.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
8 Man Strong is not simply